game winners this year. Advances. Here comes Curry. Trying to defend. Fox wiggles his way right. Swings to the wing. Harrison Barnes with a launch for three. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires. And the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece. Final score is 126-125. Curry did a masterful job forcing Fox to give it up. He wasn't given a chance to try to hit a game winner, but he was able to find Harrison Barnes in the deep right wing. Harrison had a good look at the triple, but it hit the heel of the rim, and the Warriors escaped with the victory, 126-125.
That's how it played out, the conclusion of a thrilling game. And by the way, we'll have a full breakdown. Like literally, we're going to look at that final play. There's a lot of people talking about it, the good, the bad, the ugly of that. And that's what we're going to do today, too. We've seen 4 games in this series. What are the trends on the positive side, certainly on the negative side? But I think now, and hopefully for Kings fans that are kind of new to this playoff experience, we realize it's been a long time, 16 years. And those of you that maybe even forgot what it was like, and some of the catchphrases and things that coaches say, maybe some of us that try to break this down, each game really becomes its own entity. And that's why, Jay, I think it's so hard to predict game to game, because I'm certainly pleased that we saw a very good performance by Keegan Murray. There's no guarantee there's carryover. Now, where's Kevin Huerter? Maybe Kevin Huerter's the one that goes for 20 next game. Just each game is its own deal, and that's why when you see what Fox is doing and what Curry is doing, just shows you how tremendous those two guys are.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 stars have really carried their teams for 4 games.
Amazing.
Which is what you want in playoff basketball, right? This is, if anything, when you're looking at it, like you said, game to game, you can't really predict. But when you look at the macro of this whole thing, no matter what, I think the one thing we thought was going to happen, and I, for one, am certainly pleased it's happening, is Darren Fox is built for the playoffs.
100%.
Darren Fox, we just played the highlight, obviously, of Harrison missing the 3, but the shot prior to that on Draymond, man, that's just ice in his veins. Yeah. And one thing is for sure, no matter what moving forward, you have a guy that is a building block. Like, that's the type of player that you want on a title contending team, right?
He's that dude.
He's that dude.
Yeah.
He is that dude.
Think about it. The Warriors are scheming, planning. They have put in this series DiVincenzo, Kuminga, Wiggins, GP2, Draymond, Clay. And maybe other switches, Curry.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah. Everybody on him. Everybody on him.
And there's been no answer.
Yeah.
There's been no answer. And that's just, you look at it from the other side. How many times have we talked about that with Steph Curry, where teams, including the Kings in this series, have put, player X, Y, Z, P, D, Q, and it doesn't matter. De'Aaron is just, he has his confidence. You have no ability to shake his confidence.
Yeah.
And I think the Warriors know that, and they know they're in for a monster battle the remainder of this series, no matter how it goes.
Yeah. And this series now has gone on for 4 games. What have we figured out?
2 months.
What have we decided? I remember being worn out after game 1. I had the same feeling yesterday. Just the emotional energy, the anticipation, the frustration of a loss, certainly. And we'll try to break it all down with you. We want to hear from you guys. Thank you to all of you joining us on the YouTube this morning, certainly on the text line as well at 916-339-1140, on the phone lines at 1-800-920-1140. Jay and I are back. Yesterday was an emotional roller coaster. We'll kind of go through that, all sorts of Game 4 breakdowns as we're just getting started here on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy
going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports,
your official home for 49ers football.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
California, the birthplace of all things cool. Beautiful people, perfect beaches, and cruising with the top down on Route 66. It does get quite hot here, though, so now that spring has sprung, Ace Plumbing Heating and Air is offering a full air conditioning system inspection and tune-up for just $66. Call 455-4548 and just say Route 66 to get your kicks and stay cool. Ace Plumbing Heating and Air, 455-4548 or at aceplumbing.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, show rolling on this morning. Jason Ross, Jay Mars, Carmichael Dave, not even the home version. Not even the take-home home version of Carmichael Dave. So he is definitely down.
Yeah.
And out. Hopefully back tomorrow. We don't know. To be determined. Day to day.
Yeah. Questionable.
Sure. Yes.
Whatever other sports analogy you want to make, go for it.
Check us out on the YouTube, certainly over the radio. However else you find us this morning, thank you. Our regular Paul Riddle was asking if this was vodka. Jay, 100% confirmed. I know you can't smell it from in there, but maybe you can.
Yeah,
after a tough loss, it's vodka.
For a guy that's taking down an entire bottle of vodka, you sound good.
Just straight. Look at this. Just gonna.
You lush.
Whoa, tough batch. All right, so
usually anything alcoholic served in a bottle like that is.
I'm glad that this next topic we're talking about the emotions of Game 4, which really was an emotional roller coaster. But I want to start that Jay, it was cool to see you and others from the Sactown Sports roll down for Game 3. We had another crew that came down for Game 4. But since you were there, I haven't asked you about this yet. Your impressions of the atmosphere of Chase Center versus Golden One,
Diet Golden One. I'm trying to say that. I mean,
no
way to be 100% objective there. But, and I get traffic factors into this, but beginning of the game, you saw it. There was a lot of empty seats. And I know Giants, Mets were playing across the way, and it's the Bay Area. There's traffic. I get it. But I'm like, man, there's a lot of yellow shirts on seats pretending to be fans. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then it felt like, to me, it took a while for that crowd to truly get into the game. They were loud, and it's not like it was a library in there or anything. I mean, it was a loud crowd. It was a rambunctious crowd. It's a good crowd down there in San Francisco. But it kind of took a while, and I felt, who got the biggest applause the whole game, who the building was the loudest for at any moment, was when they introduced E40.
100% this is what we're talking about Thursday night's game.
Yes.
100%. And I thought Thursday was, I don't want to call it a regular season atmosphere, but maybe like a regular season big game on TNT.
Right. That 100% is how it felt.
Yeah. And it was good. Good crowd. Intros were fine.
Mm-hmm.
I felt most of their energy was booing Sabonis.
Yes.
Biggest pop by far was E40. And I understood that based on what happened up here. And then in game, but for Steph Curry in Game 3 to have 3 different times go you don't have to do that here. You don't have.
You saw Draymond doing it yesterday.
Yeah, and then yesterday was probably even a later arriving crowd, which was stunning. And to your point, the Mets and Giants were playing. It was Sunday. There was a lot of beautiful stuff going on, but and there was also a slide. And I think about Game 1 here that had the slide. It was the Saturday where everybody was out there. And people were already in their seats 40 minutes before tip-off because of also the delay of start. So that happened. In-game, they're fine. In-game, they make the noise at the right time. I didn't feel like they booed Sabonis as violently yesterday, but they did.
No, they got over it pretty quickly, didn't they?
Yeah. And then, obviously, in the big moments, it's not like, hey, it wasn't a library to your point. But I think the comps, I heard of people like, hey, what do you think of the crowd here? I said, I'm not trying to burst anybody's bubble, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a good crowd. It's a solid crowd. But you mentioned the booing of Sabonis. Man, I thought it was going to be louder. It was loud. It wasn't, like I said, not a library.
Game 3 was more. So the game you were at was more than yesterday.
Okay, I'm going to step out on a limb here. Game 5, when they introduce Draymond Green or when he has the ball, will be a million times louder than it was in Chase Center when Domas touched the ball in Game 3.
Which, had DeMontis not been booed, I think Draymond gets booed the first time, but not every time he touches the ball. Now I
Right.
feel like it will be every time he touches.
Oh, every time he touches the ball,
Yeah.
Draymond will be booed mercilessly. And, you know, Domas is Domas. He's just going to no-sell it and play basketball.
Right.
Draymond's going to play along with it.
Yes.
I feel like
He'll milk that.
he's going to milk that all day long. I feel like the biggest storyline in Game 5 might be the fans versus Draymond.
Yeah. There was an interesting play, and I'm sure it was picked up on TV, and I took an extra long look at it because the flow already started going the other way. I think Sabonis went in, kind of crashed, fell, and he was right by the feet of Draymond, and he just he did more of the I'm going to protect myself, laid there. Draymond was near, and everybody's watching, and nothing happened. I mean, they just went the other way, but it was like, oh no, nothing to see here.
No, the only thing to really see there was that was it the first quarter or the second quarter when Draymond and De'Aaron both got teed up.
Yeah, and that was a great scene to me. I think it was first quarter. Draymond basically, he bumped Keegan, got him pretty good, but I mean, I didn't think it needed to be looked at.
I thought he made a basketball play.
Yeah.
It was a hard foul, but I didn't think it was anything egregious.
But he had said to Keegan, like, get up, like, and then, you know, almost like questioning, like, are you really hurt? And De'Aaron wasn't having that. And I loved it. I love that De'Aaron got in his face. And what I didn't love was that he got the tee, not because of anything other than that, but just because, Jay, there could have been a play later where, I don't know, Steph and De'Aaron are hand fighting and they just boop, double technical, and then you go, wait a minute, it's not worth losing Fox.
Right.
But I love that De'Aaron's like, I'm not letting you talk to my guy like that.
Yeah, and the other part about it too was, and again, with the Kings, it's always a series of first, right? This is De'Aaron's, everything's a first. I'm like, okay, this is the first time we've seen him really jaw with somebody to the point he's getting teed up. And Draymond is, you know, a master of taking people out of their game. Will he take De'Aaron out of the game? That's what was going through my head. Not is he going to get a second tee?
Yeah.
Hey man, is he going to play head games with De'Aaron all game? And no. The answer was no. He did not.
It was good to think. I mean, you're right. Fair to think that Draymond. He does play those mind games. It didn't work there. The emotional roller coaster part of yesterday too, and we'll have more, you know, detailed breakdowns of the end of the game too. But I thought when the Kings, you know, the first quarter's back and forth. Warriors kind of make the mini run at the end of the first. By the end of the first, it was the last timeout of the first quarter to the first timeout of the second quarter, a 20-5 run by the Kings. They're up 9. It's like, oh, wow, taking the crowd out. This looks great. Jay, I think it took a minute and 15, 9-0 run by the Warriors.
Yeah, it was nuts.
It's little things like that. Like, okay, you're not putting the game away with a 9-point lead. But can you make the Warriors take a quarter to get the lead back? It took them a minute 15 to get the lead or to tie the game. You went, well, that was wasted energy.
Yeah, no, and it's obviously a quote unquote game of runs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of want to spread those runs out. Maybe not a minute 15, maybe 4 minutes and 15 seconds. You know, take a little bit of your lead to expand the game. But to be fair, you know, the Warriors were never able to really keep a long lead on the Kings for long either.
True.
The Warriors would get up and the Kings would come right back.
Yeah, they hit the 3. I mean, honestly, and I said this going to break at the end of the third quarter. Kings are down 7, and the Warriors, if you see the final play of the third quarter, it's a clinic. I know it was against the Kings, but it was about a 6-pass sequence, ends up to Clay in the corner, hits a 3 in front of the Kings bench, and I went, you know what, the defense was actually really good. The offense was better. You're down 10, but to your point, Jay, I think the first minute plus 7-0 run, timeout Warriors, it's a 3-point game, and from that point on, it was on.
Right, and that just goes to show just how quickly the Kings can bounce back, because I think most teams in that scenario, I'm not saying that's the end of the game, but boy, is it really hard at the end, just that heartbreaking 3-pointer. You're down 10. Usually, if you're going to come back, it's going to take more than just a couple minutes right into the next quarter.
Yeah. The Kings in the last 2+ minutes or so, I know we're in a stretch where they missed 6 consecutive shots, and I could have sworn some of them were in transition. In fact, where they had good looks, and then they obviously made a couple of points here late to get it within the 1 before missing. But
thanks in part to the ghost timeout we haven't even got to yet.
Man, we will get into that. We've got much more to get into this game, this series, and we got to push it forward. We have to wait again till Wednesday. And that's the one thing I remember saying last Tuesday, I think it was, Jay. I said, you know, the Kings had just won game 2. It was emotional Monday night. And I remember telling Dave, I go, you realize if this thing goes 5, game 5 is 8 days away. And we'd only played 2 games.
Right.
And there was 3 days off game. 2 days off game, 2 days off game, 2 days off game. And now if this goes all the way to 7, it's Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Like, it's bang, bang, bang. So it's coming here quickly, but we got to wait until game 5. We'll preview that coming up. When we come back, we got to do at least a little dive into the rest of the NBA playoffs. Some series are getting a little more interesting, and we've already got one team that's moved through. We'll kind of recap the rest of the NBA and the way the playoffs looked yesterday. We'll do that when we come back.
It's Cattles and Rami.
There were a few rows in front of us that were standing throughout the whole game, which I get, man. It's a playoff game, first time in 16 years. You're trying to go 2-0. I'm not going to go down 7 rows and be like, hey, can you all sit down for me? Kind of a big deal.
There was one guy that, like, he could tell that his friends were standing more than he was, and he could tell that it was affecting. Yeah.
That was the guy who said that he hated me.
Yeah, and he knew me off top, and I missed that. He's like, you're Simone. And I was like, I don't know who you are, but nice to meet you.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. Consider STP Conventional High Mileage to save on motor oil for your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for a free personalized arch support fitting and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Hey, basketball fans, the playoffs are here, and Sacramento's ready to win it all. And while you're cheering them on, you're going to want a nice, cool home to watch those games in. That's why you should call Fox Family Heating and Air for all of your air conditioning repair needs. With our amazing technicians and lifetime warranty on most repairs, we'll make sure that your home stays cool and comfortable for the playoffs. So come on, beat the buzzer and call Fox Family Heating and Air today.
Fox Family Heating and Air.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? You know, we can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
Hey, Scott, you look great.
Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure at XL Medicine. It's called the artist procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. XL Medicine could probably help you too, buddy.
Using the ARTIST procedure, Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall at Excel Medicine about the ARTIST procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation, or on the web at excelmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the ARTIST procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients.
At Elk Grove Honda, we'd like to help you purchase your next new Honda. Right now at Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a regular basis, including the newly designed CR-V, new design Accords, exciting Civics, and much more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory offers choices there as well. So give Elk Grove Honda a chance to show you the new or pre-owned Honda you're looking for. We are Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, good morning and happy Monday. I'm Jay Mars. It was a roller coaster game 4 yesterday in San Francisco between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. That came down to one final shot.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for three. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires, and the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece.
The Warriors won by the final score of 126-125. Despite the loss, Darren Fox continues to be electric in the playoffs. He hit for 38 points yesterday to go along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists in 40 minutes. And some good news for Kings fans was the return of Keegan Murray. After struggling in the first 3 games, Keegan finished with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. It's going to be a very loud Golden One Center. Game 5 happens this Wednesday night at the G1C. Coming up on today's show, our Sacramento Kings insider Frankie Carticelli joins us to help break down all the action that happened in San Francisco over the past few days at 9 a.m. from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And you can get all your Kings playoff coverage online at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
J. Mars, usually I ask questions, you have answers. I got one for you.
Go for it.
From our text line, and maybe you guys can help out on this, 916-339-1140. We should, quote, reverse boo Draymond. That would hurt him more because he wants to be the villain. Does that mean...
Cheer him?
Is that what that means?
Yeah, because I don't know how do you, instead of going booed, you go oob. And that's going to take on a whole different type of context, man.
That would be interesting if everybody cheered him every time he touched the ball.
We love Draymond.
Okay.
You know what? Weirdly enough, you'd be playing more head games.
Probably. I don't know if the fans could work that out.
I don't think 18,000 people are going to workshop that before Game 5, guys. Sorry.
Game 5 coming up Wednesday. More of a breakdown of Game 4 of this series, the positives, the negatives, the final play of Game 4, the resurgence of Keegan Murray. That's all coming up. Want to do a quick check, though.
Before you do that, though, real quick, I got a text from the Kings right before the game ended last night, and we should shout out everyone that's been making it down to Golden One Center for games 3 or 4. They've put over 10,000 people in there 2 games in a row, man. So
that's awesome.
Shout out to that rabid fan base, man. I tried to get the tickets. You know what you do is they're free tickets.
Yeah, we have to do it online, right?
Dude, it was they sent out the email and they were gone in 10 minutes.
Wow. That's awesome.
Seriously, man.
Well, now we do know they can fill that up again on Friday. There will be a game 6.
There will be a game 6.
That is a certainty. We know that Game 5 is in Sacramento at Golden One Center, much like Games 1 and 2. Those ticket prices were up there. In theory, I hate saying this could be the last home game of the year. It also could be the last home game of this series, meaning that the Kings could move on too. So you just don't know. That's the importance of these series, and we're learning that as well in some of these others. The first team to move on is Philadelphia, 4-0 series sweep. They had that weird scheduling too, Jay, where they won Saturday morning before either Milwaukee, Miami, or Lakers, Memphis even played Game 3.
I know.
Those series were 1-1, and Philly was already through.
Yeah, and you know what? It was a fairly entertaining series, given that
how quickly it was done.
Number one, and it was just what are the Nets? Who are the Nets?
Yeah,
what do the Nets
will they
do?
be?
Yeah,
Right.
what's going on with the Nets? I saw when they lost game 3, so once it out. It must be the worst feeling after losing that particular game because, I mean, that was such an emotional game with the Embiid and the Harden stuff. And then the first guy to give you a high five is Ben Simmons and straight close.
Yeah, the Nets, interesting year to say the least. So the Sixers are through. They're waiting on the Knicks, Cavs. This one surprised me a little bit. It's a 4-5. You figure it'd be a 2-2 series. It's 3-1 New York. And there is a lot of energy at the Garden for Knicks basketball right now.
You know, they were in the playoffs 2 years ago, and they were the higher seed in that series again. Weren't they the 3 and the Hawks were the 6 at that time? I don't think that was a 4-5.
I'm not sure either, but
I feel like that was a 3-6.
But they were the favored.
Yeah, and they kind of laid an egg.
Yeah.
But this is the most exciting the Garden has been, I think, since Linsanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell, man. It's just, we talk about so much the energy that's brought back at Golden One after all these years, man. The Garden is not a whole lot different in that sense. That the Knicks fans have been starved for good basketball for so long.
Right.
And it's another rabid fan base. When their team is good, they show up and they show out.
Yeah, and I don't know if I said Philly gets the winner of that series. Actually, Philly gets the winner of Boston, Atlanta. Boston's now up 3-1 after kind of
Jason, Philly gets Boston.
Well, that's true.
I'm not
true.
trying to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. Hey, shout out to the Hawks for getting a win. It'll be a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, and then I think Milwaukee's still going to prevail. I know Giannis keeps missing. That's 2-1 Heat.
Questionable tonight.
And he's questionable again tonight. That's the series where the Cavs Knicks winner will get the winner of the Heat. That one's surprising me that it's Miami up 2-1.
I can't.
Even without Giannis, that team's still pretty good.
They are still pretty good, but you know what? Miami has guys that can play basketball.
True.
You have Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. And the Heat have been, over the last 4 years, such an up and down team. We've seen them. They were the 1 last year.
Yeah.
They're the 8 this year.
Yeah, and barely. Remember, they had 2 plans to get through.
Right, and don't forget, in 2020, we're in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's such an up and down team, but the core of that team has always remained the same for the most part.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was funny, too, when Reggie Miller made the comment like, oh, Tyler Hero going out for the Heat or means more than Giannis going out for the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I politely disagree.
Right.
I don't care. I mean, Milwaukee is great without Giannis, but man, dude, you're talking about a guy who probably won't win the MVP award this year, but to me is, again, take everybody out, right? Let's redraft the entire NBA. Giannis is the number 1 pick, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's that dominant. So that's the East. The West, of course, we'll get more into the Kings and Warriors coming up here. The Clippers, boy. I mean, when they took a 1-0 series lead, it's like, wow, what a win against Phoenix. And then Kawhi's been out and Paul George has already been out. Now they've battled. They've been in all these games, but they find themselves down 3-1 going back to Phoenix.
So what you're telling me is load management doesn't work.
Seemingly not. Not. How frustrating it must be for Clipper fans and just that organization that's built themselves around those two guys.
I mean, it's hard to draw conclusions. The one thing I hate talking about with like the load management injuries is like, dude, I am not a medical professional. Right. There are people way smarter than I am doing this whole thing. But the way I look at it is like, if you're just an injured player, you're just an injured player. If you're just a guy that is constantly hurt, I don't think load management helps.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of the thing with Kawhi, right? We talk about the 2019 Raptors year with him. They load managed him all year. He was ready to go in playoffs. Well, the Clippers have been load managing him since he got there, and he still gets hurt.
Yeah.
He's just an injury-prone player, and that's just kind of what it is at this point.
So that series isn't done, but it feels like it will be.
I think it's done.
They didn't end it yesterday, Jay. Minnesota stayed alive. They avoided a sweep, but Denver's still in control of that one, 3-1.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards stayed alive yesterday.
Yes.
I don't know about the rest of the Timberwolves, but, Anthony Edwards said pregame, too, like, no, I'm telling you, this is not over. And, man, we talk about Darren Fox having ice in his veins, man. That's another guy that I will tell you this. We're getting to the end of the Curry, the LeBrons.
Mm-hmm.
That era is going to be done in the next 3 to 5 years. Just,
right.
It just is what it is. They're all going to retire eventually. The league is in good hands moving forward, I think, man. When you got guys like Ant Edwards and De'Aaron Fox, you're kind of getting this new breed that they got a different attitude, man. They play with a little bit of a different moxie, and I like it.
Yeah, and I think when you put them on that stage, you give them a chance for everybody to see them. Then you have on the other side of the bracket, of course, the Lakers. That's, the King side. The Lakers and the Grizzlies, that's 2-1. what'd you think of the Dylan Brooks shot to LeBron that cost him the rest of that game?
I think Dylan Brooks, we've been here obviously focused on Draymond Green locally and what he does. I'm not going to say hate, because I don't really hate anybody, but whatever it is right before that from a sports standpoint, I think Dylan Brooks is just the worst, man. I think the guy is... I cannot use the words I want to describe on an FCC regulated radio station, but it's not just a shot to the, I mean, that's just, that is just, come on, dude. Yeah. You're getting punked. Take your licks. And then to not speak to the media after the game. And then did you see what he said yesterday?
Yes,
the media's making me out to be a villain.
Right.
No, dude, you're just a you-know-what.
Right.
Insert whatever explicit you want there, by the way.
And I'm just going to go back to game 2 when you're taunting LeBron and basically say, I don't respect him. I need him to put 40 on me.
I poke bears.
Yeah. You don't, you're not the guy. You're not that guy.
No,
you're not. You could be the guy that pokes bears. You could be the instigator, that guy. But if you're doing comps to LeBron, come on. You're not even close.
No, I don't know what world Dylan Brooks lives in, Jason, but it's not the same one that you, I, and everybody else in that series is living in. And, you know, at some point, there's still a possibility of a Kings-Grizzlies matchup in round 2. It's still there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Dylan Brooks may have poked the bear one too many times.
Yeah.
And do you find yourself weirdly rooting for LeBron and the Lakers?
The only way I do, and this is like a lean, I don't even say root, because of if the Kings were to advance and the Lakers were to advance, I would enjoy the fact that the Kings have home court.
Sure. And the Kings-Lakers, just the drama around that.
Yeah, because let's say the Kings-Warriors goes 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lakers-Memphis goes 7. I mean, there's a scenario where you're playing 2 game 7s, and the Kings could be, well, they're already going to be at home, but could be done. Could be going to Memphis, could be hosting the Lake. Like, there's so many things in play, and it's just better knowing that if the Lakers were to win, that they're coming here.
I'll tell you this much. If in some world we end up Kings-Grizzlies, it's going to seem, the Draymond hate is going to seem like nothing compared to when Dylan Brooks walks in.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, we got to get back into this Kings and Warriors series. It's 2-2, and for 3 games, we hadn't seen the guy that had been so good this year, Keegan Murray. But yesterday, finally, what a game for Keegan. The resurgence. Is this a one-game isolated incident, or is he back? We'll discuss that next on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports wants to congratulate Kings head coach Mike Brown for being the first coach to unanimously win the NBA Coach of the Year award.
100 first place votes. First time ever. Wow. A unanimous decision.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank everybody. I'm really appreciative of being in Sacramento. The fans, the city has been fantastic.
How will Coach Brown lead the Kings during the playoffs?
Tune into Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com to find out.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current. Roseville Electric provides you with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. Whether you're looking to go electric, reduce your carbon footprint, or simply save on your monthly energy bill, Roseville Electric has a solution for you. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Hot Car Wash.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
It's been estimated that we lose more than 400 million golf balls globally every year. Hitting it in the fairway is a great way to prevent lost balls, but Golf Magazine's Josh Sen says, we can do better, people. First, play the right tees. The architect designed the placement of hazards for different handicaps. Second, find a reference point. Pick a tree, a shack, or a path where the shot was headed, and keep it locked as you head off the tee. Third, maybe use a highly visible ball. You've got a better crack at tracking your ball if it's the color of a lemon or a tangerine. And anecdotal evidence suggests there's something freeing about knocking around a cartoonishly colored golf ball. 4, do not look away in disgust. A natural reaction to a slice or duck hook is to turn away. As hard as it is to find an errant shot, it's even tougher if you don't know where to look. And finally, Be a good scout. Instead of fiddling with your phone, keep an eye on your partner shots. The more time you spend watching, the less time you spend looking. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers, a plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Well, Game 4 was a classic. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way of the Sacramento Kings. Warriors even the series at 2 games apiece. You can still find positives in a game you lose, certainly. And I think for Kings fans, one of the positives was the play of Keegan Murray. I mean, Keegan was phenomenal yesterday. They needed it. And here's one of the highlights from Keegan yesterday.
Davion retreats to the deep right wing in front of the Warriors bench. Screen from Sabonis. Starts left, comes back right, finds Sabonis. Dribble handoff now to Murray. In rhythm for 3. He's got the triple. What an afternoon for Keegan Murray. It's a 7-0 Sacramento run to start the fourth quarter. We're back to a one-possession game at 102-99. Keegan Murray has made his 5th three-pointer in 6 attempts. He has 23 total points. He had struggled mightily, to say the least. He was 1 of 8 in the first 3 games from downtown after he had established an all-time NBA rookie record of making 206 triples in the regular season.
Yeah, they get mad. I thought of the only redeeming thing, potentially, Jay, of Game 3, which Kings didn't have a chance to win. They weren't that competitive. Warriors completely outplayed them. I thought it was a really smart move by Coach Brown late in the game. I mean, the starters are out. You're not winning the game. He put Keegan back in. And I'm like, oh, man, this is actually, I agree with this. Let him see the ball go in. And the first time he touched it, he missed a layup from like
point blank.
99.9% chance that he's going to make it, and he missed. And I went, oh, you know what? That might be worse.
Yeah.
You know, this might have killed his confidence. But then he made 2 shots. He made a 3 and another 2. And I thought,
I hope. Made 2 threes.
Maybe he made 2. You
I
might
think he
be
made
right.
2 threes.
Okay, this could be the thing that at least helps him. Now, I did not envision a 9 of 13, 5 of 7 for 3, 23.7 rebound game, but thank goodness we saw that yesterday.
Can I ask this, though, and I don't mean it sarcastically, why? Why didn't we expect that? Because
to do that?
We've seen this with him, though, this year. I know it's the playoffs, and we like to put the whole umbrella of it's the playoffs, it's different. I mean,
didn't he have 10 total points or something coming into that or whatever it was?
I would tell people today, if you got a little time at your desk, go to Basketball Reference, go look at Keegan's box scores, look at look at how he performs. He's had so many different instances this year where he's had like 2 or 3 games where he's just poop. And everyone's, what's the thing? Oh, every time it happens, I think he's hit that rookie wall.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back and just have some like game where it's like, whoa, when did this happen? It's just kind of been the story of him this year. And I'm not going to lie, I was not shocked to see that performance yesterday out of him.
What I liked was the cut. We play a lot of cuts during these broadcasts because there's so much time with all these lengthened timeouts. And the stuff that he was saying after game 3, and when people are like, your struggles. And he said, he actually didn't think he struggled in game 3. He just said, I was in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had 3 early fouls in that game, went out, and then just, missed a couple shots. Then by the end made a few and didn't have a big offensive game. But he said, actually, I feel fine. I just felt like, and again, you're not going to get any emotion out of him. You're not going to get a reaction. Are you struggling? Are you thriving? He's the same Keegan all the way through. But he was a weapon yesterday, and he was phenomenal. He was doing a good job.
He wasn't scared to let it fly, man.
Not at all.
And I think Marker Dorr said during the game, like Domas I think it was maybe Domas said it, like, we'd rather him shoot and miss 10 times than hesitate and not shoot the ball.
Yeah.
And he didn't hesitate at all. And you go back to the just no emotion. We need to stop saying that, by the way. Keegan has emotions. He is human.
Right.
We think. But
you can't read him.
No, exactly. And he took that hit from Draymond in the first quarter where, Draymond and Fox ended up getting, double techs. And I'm like, I am interested to see now how he responds. Because remember, prior to that, he was starting hot.
Yeah.
And man, that can shake you a little bit, just from a standpoint alone of, wow, that really hurts. But it's like, ooh, is that going to, make him hesitate to do anything? And nope. Sure didn't.
Now, that highlight we just played was part of that 7-0 run to begin the fourth quarter. That 3 he made, that was the last points he scored. Now, I think he took one more shot. So obviously the Warriors did a better job on him. I think he sat some of the fourth quarter too.
Yeah.
But still 23 points. And then you just hope there's some sort of carryover, because I think right now we've seen Fox be pretty much unreal every game. I don't think Sabonis has been his standard self. He's had moments. Monk was really good in game 1 and 2, was pretty good yesterday. Herter up and down. Like they need to find more guys playing to kind of their level. And you're not going to get, when Keegan went off yesterday, people were like, oh, where's Herter? I mean, if you get Herter, Monk, Sabonis, Fox,
game's over.
They're winning. Like, that's not the way it works. Well, then where was Mitchell and where was Light? Like, you're not going to get 7 guys go off, but you can have more. And I don't think they've had maybe that second or third that maybe plays above the norm consistently.
I mean, I thought Malik Monk is playing right where he should be. Obviously had the dreadful game 3, but so did everybody else outside of De'Aaron Fox. So it's like, all right, put that aside. I think he's been really good. I think the big thing with Domas is they've decided they're going to key in on him, right? They're going to try, if anybody, that's who they're taking away, because he is that initiator. And I think that actually is the correct move. I think it actually speaks more to the Kings that they've been able to compete with that, him being taken away as the initiator. The one thing they went to, and I just still don't think they're doing it enough. And I said this during the regular season, when he gets that ball in the circle, down low, one-on-one with Kevon Looney. Looney has been phenomenal for the Warriors. He cannot stop him.
Right.
Like, he's too short. And Domas, I still think, is a little stronger than Kevon. And when he gets that ball near the basket, they got to get him the ball in the post more. Yeah. And I think maybe even if you're not running the offense through the low post, but they're going to start doubling him down there, that's when you can really start finding guys open.
Yeah. And, the fact that, do you get a sense, Jay, that was the breakout for Keegan? He's going to finish in the last 2 or 3 games more of this way, or more of the way he played 1 through 3?
I think it will be not like in the middle of everything, but I think you will see Keegan be much more effective the rest of the series. I think this is how he has been. He has those breakout games after 2 or 3 slump games. And again, I don't think he'll put up what he saw yesterday, but again, he will not be just like, oh, Keegan played 10 minutes and was 0 of 4 from the field.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see that again.
I think what a lot of people were talking about too about Keegan is, there was a play I referenced, I think it was game 2, and he got a switch and he had Curry on him, and he made the look like, okay, I'm going to go kind of bully him and use my size, my strength. And he backed down, got into the paint, and then Steph kind of stayed with him and he passed it out. I went, no, that's the play. Like, we're okay with you forcing, like take your chances on being able to take Steph Curry. And you go, okay, now you need to be a little bit more aggressive. And then game 3 had his game. But yesterday, it wasn't like he was just confident.
He just played his game.
He took the right shots. Right?
He just played his game. He didn't do anything different. He just took the right shots. They just fell. He made them. His shots just fell. And like he said, he didn't think he was playing bad in game 3. He had 3 fouls in the first quarter.
Right.
I mean, he was done. I mean, and that just, not only does it take you out of basically the first half, dude, that kills any rhythm he may have been starting to develop there.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that, when people talk about foul trouble, it's like, that's the biggest thing I've always said is like, man, guys, NBA players get into a rhythm, man. They are such creatures of habit. When you take someone out of their normal game plan, it changes things.
Yeah.
And yesterday he stayed out of foul trouble. And again, and it wasn't just Keegan. Everyone's looks were finally going down from the outside.
True.
So now hopefully that they've kind of got that off their backs. We're back to the Kings shooting at a level that, they're used to shooting at, and they have been during the regular season.
Yeah, I think game 1 was 0 for 7 from 3 before the first make. Game 2 was 0 for 10 before the first make. Game 3 was 0 for 6. De'Aaron made the first 3 yesterday to start the game. I'm like, okay, good. They can do this. Keegan was good. Got a couple of dunks, too. Got some freebies and easy ones. We'll see how he goes for game 5. All right. Now, game 4, really, there's so many plays, but it came down to the final play. We'll have a full dissection of the last look the Kings got. Did you like it? Did you not? Barnes so close from being the hero. We'll break down the final play of game 4 to start the 7 o'clock hour. That is next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
I'm Scott Trout, attorney and CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. We help men deal with the life changes triggered by divorce, such as child custody and property division, among many others. But life changes also occur after divorce. These changes can make parts of your existing court order irrelevant or harder to follow. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell. We're a partner men can count on.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Cordell.
At Lowe's, we're always bringing pros more ways to save on the brands you trust. Right now, buy a select Bosch 12-volt Bear tool starting at $99 and get a Bosch 12-volt battery starter kit free. Plus, as an MVPs member, earn up to 3 times the bonus points when you buy select products that you can then redeem for rewards. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See sales associate for details. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 4/28. Subject to change.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040. That's 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, good morning and happy Monday. I'm Jay Mars. It was a roller coaster game 4 yesterday in San Francisco between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. They came down to one final shot.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for three. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires, and the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece.
The Warriors won by the final score of 126-125. Despite the loss, Darren Fox continues to be electric in the playoffs. He hit for 38 points yesterday to go along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists in 40 minutes. And some good news for Kings fans was the return of Keegan Murray. After struggling in the first 3 games, Keegan finished with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. It's going to be a very loud Golden One Center. Game 5 happens this Wednesday night at the G1C. Coming up on today's show, our Sacramento Kings insider Frankie Carticelli joins us to help break down all the action that happened in San Francisco over the past few days at 9 a.m. from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And you can get all your Kings playoff coverage online at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
And once again, happy Monday morning. Jason Ross, J. Mars, Carmichael Dave is illin today. He is out. And we hope to have him back tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Who knows? He certainly, as you've probably seen on his social media, not doing well over the weekend. And so hopefully a speedy recovery for him. We do thank all of you, a lot of you out there checking us out this morning on our YouTube at Sactown Sports. What?
Can we get some thumbs up?
That's what I'm saying. There's a little button at the bottom. There's a thumb. See it? This is it. Just like the emoji, just the way it looks.
Not this one. This one.
Yeah. Just thumbs up. Takes less than a second.
Really?
Find it. Boop.
Have you timed it out?
There's one. I'm going to try it right now. Boop. All right.
Wow, it was less than a second. It's like the speed of light.
Yes. It says, I like this. Those numbers, those metrics, it all helps us. Look, we just got 3 in that amount of time.
I mean, you have a bald and beautiful morning show just giving you content excellence. Who doesn't want a thumbs up?
Yes.
Come on.
If you have a thumbs up for the Kings being in the playoffs, as much as yesterday hurt, they're in the playoffs. Give them a thumbs up.
Do me and you have to both like completely take down both the facial hair and the hair on top of the head so we look like thumbs for them to give us a thumbs up?
Maybe. But they're just, it's like a ticker now. It's just rolling.
We
love it.
Love y'all.
Love you. Thank you all of you watching. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. It really does help us. We do appreciate that. If you're listening to us over the radio, on the YouTube, however you find us, we really do appreciate it. It does mean a lot. And this ride has been fun. I did have a moment to reflect. I always try to keep this all in perspective, Jay. Yesterday hurt. I mean, I can't deny it. It was one of those
where did it hurt? Show me point where they hurt you.
The heart.
Ooh. Why it hurts in the center of your chest?
Yeah, right in the heart.
Might want to get that checked out.
Because I knew the ramifications. I mean, it's a world of difference if we're talking 3-1. The stats, if you're up 3-1 in a best of 7, 95% of the time that team wins the series. Wouldn't be over. The Kings just would have been in fantastic shape. Now, they're not hurting. They're not done. It was a painful loss. You win Wednesday, you feel good again. Certainly not over. But it's the fragile nature of this. You go up 3-1, it's a world of difference. Let's go to the final play, though. And you've been playing it in the updates. We'll play it one more time here. I know.
Sorry, I've been hurting everyone's feelings this morning. My fault.
You're reliving it, the pain, and we're going to do the very same thing. Here's the last chance for the win.
Inbounds pass goes to Fox in the backcourt. Fox, who has multiple game winners this year, advances. Here comes Curry, trying to defend. Fox wiggles his way right, swings to the wing. Harrison Barnes with a launch for three. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires, and the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece. Final score is 126-125. Curry did a masterful job forcing Fox to give it up. He wasn't given a chance to try to hit a game winner, but he was able to find Harrison Barnes at the deep right wing. Harrison had a good look at the triple, but it hit the heel of the rim, and the Warriors escaped with a victory, 126-125.
He was fouled.
Flagrant.
Flagrant.
So let's do the 100% Monday morning quarterback. Second guess, triple guess. I mean, look, we'll break it down. We've got the time. I've seen this comment, and I think it's a fair one, Jay, where Curry misses the shot leading up to this. And let's remember how the miss and a ball kind of pinballs around. And when it ultimately ends up, it does end up in Fox's hands, and it kind of looks like the Kings have numbers. I'm generally a fan of not calling timeout. There is an argument to be made of just go. The ball's already in your the hands of your best player, the guy who scored the most points, and it might be a little disarray on the other end. But as I watched that maybe 5 more times last night, while the ball's pinballing around the millisecond it's controlled by the Kings, Brown's already calling. I think he in his mind is like, I've got to get control and let's run something. So 100% second guess. I wouldn't have had a problem if they just went. They chose not to, right? I mean, again, we're talking about decisions you have to make.
We're not NBA head coaches, by the way.
I'm not even saying they're wrong in this decision in this case. I'm just saying you could make the argument for not doing it. They elected to call the timeout. Then you call the timeout. Certainly it allows Golden State's defense to get set. The other part that allows Golden State's defense to get set is throwing it all the way into the backcourt because Fox gets it. He can survey. And then, so now you start with the ball in the player's best hands. I've heard arguments too, like maybe go somewhere else first and then get it back to Fox. But if you end a sequence where Fox doesn't touch it, how much are we killing the team?
Oh, we collectively, me and you are just the collective. They're murdering it.
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh, how do you not get Fox the ball in that situation? I had no problem with Mike Brown calling the timeout there. Again, we've seen him let De'Aaron go in those situations, but also I think one thing that happens in these timeouts, and because they get so nitpicked at, is Kings turn the ball over, right? That's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that is Brown has a play that he knows if they execute will work. Let's always keep that in mind. He's not calling a timeout and is going to design something like, this probably isn't going to work, guys, but here, go try to run it.
Figure it out. Try.
And I thought the play they ran was the right basketball move.
Well, at the end, I think it was. I think what they tried to do was, obviously, you see the high pick set by Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
What that did was Draymond starting on Fox. Then it was Curry. That's advantage Kings. I think when De'Aaron lost the dribble, there's kind of like a wonky dribble in there. He got it back. Now Draymond had time to help. And then the 100% at that moment right play was to pass to Barnes, who was open for the 3.
Correct me. I didn't hear Mike Brown's post game. Did he address that play and who was supposed to get the shot? Yeah,
I think it was designed for Fox, and they got the switch. But again, that kind of missed dribble screwed things up a bit.
I'll say this: go back to the huddle beforehand. I don't know what Kevin Huerter is telling Harrison Barnes, but he is saying something to him, like almost of the nature of like getting him up, like you'll be open. So I have a feeling that it was play designed for Fox. De'Aaron, you get doubled. Harrison's open. And here's the reason why. Not is that just the right basketball play in general. Jason, we've seen Harrison hit 2 game winners, buzzer beaters before.
Yeah.
That's a guy you trust to take that shot right there. I had no problem with Harrison shooting that ball.
Yep.
Because again, he makes the shot. All we're talking about this morning is Harrison Barnes is that dude when the game's on the line, 3rd buzzer beater. He got a good look. He just rattled in and out.
Yeah, I think too. I've seen a lot of complaints. You don't need a 3. You don't. But in that situation, you can't go, well, there's 1.1 when Barnes catches it. Hey, figure out a way to get to 2. You just have to shoot it.
You have to shoot it.
Yeah.
What the best he can do there is maybe take odd dribble up, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But Curry was charging out at him.
Sure. And does that even change really again, it's a good 3-point shooter. You're wide open. You just shoot your open shot in that situation.
The one thing you have to do is get a shot attempt.
Yes, and they did. And they got a good one.
They did. Again, now we're nitpicking, second guessing. Can you get to the basket? I think maybe there were goals for De'Aaron to do that. Again, that missed dribble, the double team, you can force things. De'Aaron's been a hero this year. Maybe if Mike Brown and the Kings could replay this again, which you can't, maybe they don't call timeout there. That's the only other thing I think of maybe that changes the outcome. And here's one other thing. This is now me, and I remember saying this in the post game, that I would have maybe tried to do where I normally wouldn't do this, Jay, but I would have under the circumstances yesterday. I maybe would have gone earlier to give yourself a chance at a tip in.
Sure.
Because only in this case yesterday, because the Warriors were out of timeouts, because I think the last thing you wanted to do was score with 2.6 timeout and Steph beat you.
Right.
Well, they couldn't advance. Sure, they could have still thrown one in from 40, but I would have liked the Kings maybe to have 2 bites at the apple. That, again, nitpicking 100%. We're talking about high leverage situations that, and there's another team that's trying to stop you from doing all these things I'm saying.
And go back to, the idea of De'Aaron driving. They were going to collapse the paint on him.
100%.
I think I was not in Steve Kerr's huddle, believe it or not. But I would imagine a big thing they were talking about is just don't let De'Aaron get the shot up.
Right.
Anybody else, I think they would have lived with beating them. But if they would have let De'Aaron get in the paint, dude, that's just malpractice at that point on their end.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they went out there to double. They were not going to let him get a shot, and he could have tried to go into the paint. They would have collapsed on him.
Yeah.
I don't think De'Aaron was in a situation there, and that goes back to what you're saying. Then maybe that's why you don't call the timeout, because the Warriors do get a chance then to set. But again, the Kings have other guys on the team that were confident shooting the ball there.
Yeah.
And again, I just go back to it. I had no problem with that play. I had no problem with Harrison being the guy to take that shot.
Yeah. You have to get a shot attempt. You think about game 1, the Warriors had a 3 for the tie. It was missed by Steph Curry.
Right.
Game 4, Kings had a 3 for the win. It was missed. It's a fragile nature, make or miss league. These things are different if those shots go in. We're not even breaking this down.
Dude, if Steph makes that shot, which again is a shot Steph can make, and it just goes back to, man, sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't.
Right.
Dude, we're talking about the Kings being down 3-1 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We never talk about that because we live such in the moment of what happened yesterday. It's that recency bias. Like, man, dude, this whole series could be completely different. Steph hits that shot.
Yeah.
Hell, the Warriors could have swept them. But what does that do for the momentum going into game 2? We don't know. Don't dwell on it, people. Game 5 is on Wednesday. I think we've learned every game in this series is a complete reset, man.
Absolutely. It's starting anew, and now you go through some of the trends, some of the tendencies. I would also say if this was a regular season game, I have no problem kind of running things through Sabonis. Right now, that's difficult. It's just not as smooth as it's been. And that's, I think, 100% credit to the Warriors, the way they've defended him. They've tried to take him out. So, I won't say he's a non-factor in that final sequence, but you're really not utilizing him. It's kind of Fox, see what he can create. And the Warriors doubled him. You're taking the ball out of his hands. They were going to say, let someone else beat you. It would have been kind of sweet, poetic justice if it was Barnes, the former Warrior, that made it. He didn't, and you can't hang your head if you're the Kings too long because you have to really refocus and find a way to win game 5.
I don't think the Kings are hanging their head, though. Obviously it's emotional. I won't even call it a gut punch, though, man. It's just one of those situations. We could have won. We didn't. We're not down.
Yeah.
We're tied. We're going home. I thought the Warriors played their best basketball of the series
it was
in
a great
game 4. And, and so did the Kings. And it just goes back to what we were talking about earlier in the show. It's just an even matchup, man.
Yeah.
These two teams are, it's round 1. Who knows what other series we're getting, but man, it's going to be hard to find another series where these two teams are matched up so well and you got such an emotional battle going on.
2-2 as the series is tied. We'll get more post-game reaction from the key components in the series coming up. Also, Frankie Carticelli will be in studio with us, our Sactown Sports Kings insider, at 9. When we come back, 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness, all brought to you by Fire Wings. That's coming up next.
Sactown Sports wants to congratulate Kings head coach Mike Brown for being the first coach to unanimously win the NBA Coach of the Year award.
100 first place votes, first time ever. Wow. A unanimous decision.
Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. I'm really appreciative of being in Sacramento. The fans, the city has been fantastic.
How will Coach Brown lead the Kings during the playoffs?
Tune into Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com to find out.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? You know, we can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, Jay Mars, what do you have for us today on 3 for Madness?
Well, first of all, I have it brought to you by Fire Wings.
Yeah.
21. That's right. It's an adult of different flavors to choose from. Fire Wings. Just wing it. Does Philadelphia getting through round 1 in 4 games give you any more belief that the 76ers can get out of the East?
I don't know if it has anything to do with winning in 4. I think that, that's also another thing. Like, oh, sweep, easy series. Those games were competitive. They were all good.
Yeah,
games.
Shout out Brooklyn.
It just, Philly got through it. And I think credit to them for getting through the last one without Joel Embiid. That logjam, I've liked the top 3 the best all year in the East. I think Milwaukee and Boston and Philly, but likely now Philly's going to get Boston. That's their nemesis. That's the team. And that's the one I wondered. Everybody's kind of putting Boston through. I don't know. When you're always the one that's doing the chasing, at some point you're going to break through. I kind of wonder if Philly's finally going to do it this year and beat Boston. Now, I don't know if they'll beat Milwaukee. If Milwaukee survives, but I think the Knicks need some help maybe to get the Knicks in there for Philly. Maybe that's their path.
Yeah, and I just don't see that for the Knicks. I mean, I think the Knicks will be gassed at some point, just the way Thibodeau runs his team. First of all, I'll say this: if Joel is hurt, no.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Any sort of extended time missed for Joel Embiid, the Sixers are done. They go as he goes. That goes without saying, right? However, if Joel can come back and they're a healthy team, I've said it all year. This team is. To me, there's obviously a rank and order in the East, but it's not. To me, Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly, exactly. There's not a big gap there. Is there a scenario where they get to the finals 100%? I can see that happening. To me, beating Brooklyn didn't do anything for that. I think just the sweep just gets them a little more rest.
Yeah.
And so that's the really only thing I took from them sweeping Brooklyn.
Yeah, Philly and Boston, if we get that series, which it sure looks like we will, Embiid's been a monster against Boston, but it hasn't been enough. They need him and they need Harden to go off. And they need Harden because all those guards have defended him pretty well with Boston.
Well, and the other side of that too is you saw it yesterday, Tobias Harris, stepping in and picking up the scoring load. If they can get him to do that more often in an offense that also features Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and
Maxey's been good
Harden,
too.
but Maxey's been good. So it's hard for, there's a certain amount of shots that go around. But no, if Tobias Harris can give you kind of production like that, I 100% think there is a path to the finals for the Sixers, and I think it's a very realistic path.
All right, question 2.
Question 2.
The Los Angeles Clippers, meanwhile, find themselves down 3-1 and going back to Phoenix. If the Suns close out the series, how could you characterize the 4 years of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in Los Angeles?
Disappointing. You've got a conference finals trip, an elimination in round 2, last year completely missing the playoffs.
Yep.
And if this year's a round 1 exit, you didn't sign those 2 guys to be, 3 out of 4 years to the playoffs with 1 year in round 2 and 1 year in the conference finals. You're thinking championships. That's what Kawhi was thinking. I'm sure Paul George was thinking that. That's what Ballmer is thinking. Jay, they're the highest paid team in the league right now. And next year, already on the hook for about $188 million. They made trades. Their roster's deep. They've got a good coach. They're a good team. They need to break through. It's, Lob City was good. They had a good run with that group. They didn't win it all, and then they broke it up. At some point, I don't know if the Clippers have to break it up yet, and I think they have one more year with those two guys together.
Yeah, they do.
But they've kind of tried to protect him with load management. They've maybe played him more games than other years. I know it's a tough matchup with Phoenix, but now when you've got your two guys hurt, it's rotten luck a little bit too, but it's frustrating to have two great players and not have any hardware out of it.
Do you have the cannon over there, the hot take one?
Yes.
Because I'm about to fire one.
Okay, go for it.
The Kawhi PG Clippers run, more disappointing than the KD Kyrie Nets run.
Because of the amount of time they had together and failed longer?
Well, think about it. Both of those two teams kind of came together at the same time. KD, you already knew was taking the year off because of injury, right? And then Kyrie, you already knew was just Kyrie.
Yeah.
Right. So there was already, to me, a level of with the Nets that already felt kind of snake bitten to begin with. Whereas, remember, Kawhi, he signs that in the Clippers. He just came off winning the NBA Finals in Toronto. We think we figured out, here's the thing with Kawhi. You load management him during the season. Best player in the league. He'll be good come playoff time. Oh, by the way, we're bringing his buddy Paul George over. Remember how, when everyone saw that, it was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And so you factored in that. It was like, I was one of them, Jason. I'm like, the Clippers to me on paper are the best team in basketball. Yeah. And they've put good pieces around them. It's just been the Kawhi factor more than Paul George, more than anything, right?
Yeah.
And he's just been hurt, and it's just been a monumental failure because of that. I don't look at it as rotten luck. I look at it as it's just Kawhi's an injury-plagued player, man. I think his better days are behind him just because he can't stay on the court.
Yeah, and as long as Ballmer is there, and this is the kind of owner that will spend the money, and I think they'll spend it in the right way and get talented players, but they got to break through at some point.
Yeah, and I don't think they do.
Yeah.
At least with this core of George, and again, Paul George is another guy that gets hurt. I don't think that core can break through because of that. And, it's so weird. You look at it. OKC won that trade, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're the Clippers right now on this day, April 24th, 2023, you'd much rather have SGA.
Right.
Just because.
With Kawhi and with everything else you have. Yeah. At this point. Amazing. All right. Let's.
It's also why you don't judge trades.
Right. Exactly.
Until several years down the line.
Yeah.
Question 3.
The Nets are the first playoff team to, quote, go fishing as they were eliminated in Philadelphia. In recent memory, has any team had a more bizarre year?
Yeah, if you think about it, let's backtrack to the Nets. The way the year started, Steve Nash is your coach.
Mm-hmm.
You still have Kyrie. You have KD and Ben Simmons. So there's a lot of hope. They're one of the favorites to win the East, to win the NBA title. Nash didn't make it very long. And then remember, Jay, there was he's going, but they're bringing in Ime Udoka.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, wow, okay.
That feels toxic.
But also there was kind of that time where it was either the coach goes or I go with Durant, and then no, it's not about it's not about Nash. Well, then what's it about, KD? That was weird. Then you move on, you get Jacques Vaughn to stay and blah, blah. Then you trade Durant, you trade Kyrie.
Well, you trade Kyrie, which leads you to trade Durant. By the way, they were trying to keep Durant after trading Kyrie, and they thought they were going to.
Yeah, when Kyrie first comes up with the trade demands.
Mm-hmm. Which were out of nowhere. Remember, the Nets and Kyrie himself, they were playing out of their minds at that moment.
Right.
They were the hottest team in basketball.
Then you have Ben Simmons kind of playing, not playing okay. Then you're just all over the place. He was
bad this year.
Then you get a trade that kind of revitalized them a little bit with Bridges and Johnson. And so here they are through all of this. And, they made the playoffs. They did some okay things. I know they lost in 4 games, but they battled in that series. But I just don't know where they go. They lost all their stars. They are building with some young pieces. They don't have a lot of picks because they mortgaged everything to get guys in the past. Where do they go?
I mean,
they're not bad.
You have to stay competitive. Here's why. I do believe those picks that Houston has are unprotected, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
So you can't. There's no rebuild there. You got Bridges is a great piece, by the way, but I think you need to take some of those picks you acquired and get another guy in there. And who that is, whether it's free agency, Jason, I don't have the slightest clue at the moment right now. But yeah, you got it. They have to stay competitive somewhat, no matter what. That to me is number one. You asked if this is the most bizarre season in recent memory. Can you think of a more bizarre season in NBA history?
I mean, there might be, but I can't think of it. I mean, I just can't. I know this is.
I mean, it's because the thing is, it's in season.
Yeah, and it's 10 things that happen, not one. Like, oh, this was a really weird incident. Sure, that happens to almost every organization at some point. But there's 10 things probably we could talk about that are kind of once in a season or once in every 10 years that happen. They happen all in 1 year.
It's really not a thing that happens often when you see a superstar traded at the deadline, right? But to see two traded from the same team and all the drama in between the start of the season and up to that point that led to that. And then to also see the complete, and it was from last season. We can't even talk about the Harden stuff.
Right.
It's just this year.
Yeah.
It's, man, I cannot think of any other season in NBA history that was more bizarre than the one the Nets had this year. So good news for them, though, I guess, is like all of that's in the past now, and they can kind of have a clean slate. And did ownership learn their lesson? Probably not, but hey, weirdly, glad it's not my team to have to run on that.
I guess for whatever the heartache that they got from Harden, from Durant, from Kyrie, at least they're free from that. But
I mean, they had to look over at Dallas, right, and be like, LOL.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right, those are 3 for Madness, brought to you by Fire Wings. When we come back, let's hear from some of the key participants from yesterday's Game 4. It was a thriller, unfortunately, for the Kings. A tough one to take. We'll hear from Fox, from Brown, from Sabonis, all that and more as we continue here on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Warehouse Paint is where the local pros go for all of their paint project needs. Enjoy same-day turnarounds, same-day color matching, color consultation services, and free job site deliveries. With a large in-stock selection of PPG and Benjamin Moore paints and stains, and an expert sales team that is here to help, Warehouse Paint has exactly what you need to complete your next project. Visit warehousepaint.com to find a store near you. That's warehousepaint.com.
Hey, Scott, you look great.
Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure at XL Medicine. It's called the Artist Procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the Artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. XL Medicine could probably help you too, buddy.
Using the ARTIST procedure, Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall at Excel Medicine about the ARTIST procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation, or on the web at excelmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the ARTIST procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, good morning and happy Monday. I'm Jay Mars. It was a roller coaster Game 4 yesterday in San Francisco between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors that came down to one final shot.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for three. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires, and the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece.
The Warriors won by the final score of 126-125. Despite the loss, Darren Fox continues to be electric in the playoffs. He hit for 38 points yesterday to go along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists in 40 minutes. And some good news for Kings fans was the return of Keegan Murray. After struggling in the first 3 games, Keegan finished with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. It's going to be a very loud Golden One Center. Game 5 happens this Wednesday night at the G1C. Coming up on today's show, our Sacramento Kings insider Frankie Carticelli joins us to help break down all the action that happened in San Francisco over the past few days at 9 a.m. from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And you can get all your Kings playoff coverage online at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
She always knows how to make me feel better.
I try. Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because I want to be everywhere with you.
Yeah, you are.
Right there. Perfect. Beautiful. You saw that on YouTube. We're now BFFs.
Yes. And if you like that, hit the thumbs up button.
Please.
Yep. Again, it's down there at the bottom. Let's get that thing rolling. Just move it up one by one.
We're trying to break 5,000 thumbs up today.
Yes.
Where are we at?
Almost there. We're at 60.
Nice.
Yes. Just hit that button at the bottom. It takes no time. Helps us. There's a lot of you watching. And if all of you watching hit that, there we go.
Hey now.
Get to our numbers.
Hey now.
Hey now. Hit that. Yes. Isolate that.
Woo.
No Carmichael Dave today. He is down with the sickness. Hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow.
We don't know what it is either.
No, it's something. You read it on socials. It's something.
It's worse than COVID.
But not COVID.
But not the flu.
And not allergies. Maybe allergies.
Maybe allergies, but I don't think allergies work like that. I've had allergies.
As a lifetime member of the allergy club.
As a lifetime allergic.
They stink, but like you, I don't know.
You don't.
I should say when it's happened to me, I can function. It's not fun.
Wow.
No, I mean I can't. It's
wow.
No, that's why
so what you're saying is you're way stronger than Dave.
What you're saying?
I'm not saying that.
No.
What you said.
I'm saying that I don't think it's allergies. And that's what I think is a pretty funny thing for a lot of people. Oh, these allergies. Like, that's a blanket statement. I'm like, I think you're sick.
No, he just woke up early this morning. He was like this. This today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time. That's him currently.
Yes. So hopefully he's feeling better soon, and we will have Carmichael Day with us back. Kings and Warriors will play Game 5 on Wednesday. That'll be at G1C. It'll be an amazing atmosphere, and it was a good atmosphere yesterday in San Francisco at Chase Center. Warriors did prevail, and let's kind of get into some of the nuts and bolts, at least some reaction from the guys on this. Let's first hear from the head coach of the Kings, Mike Brown, on really working on some of the little things in this series.
What a game. If I was a fan, what a game to watch. I thought our guys came out with a purpose tonight and gave ourselves a chance to win. And that's all you can ask for come playoff time. But we made some timely mistakes, especially in the fourth quarter. We gapped, and this is where our playoff inexperience comes into play, because you can't rest out there, or you can't think that you can play something a certain way and the champions aren't going to make you pay the price. But one time we gapped versus Steph and he hit a three, which was huge. Another time we gapped versus Clay and he hit a three, which is huge. And you might think, it's just one possession. Well, those 6 points right there, not doing what we're supposed to do, again, that shows our playoff inexperience, because you have to take pride in playing a certain way for 48 minutes, and it ain't going to be easy. And at the end of the day, if we can't do it, it's going to be tough on us.
Yeah, Jay, Coach Brown always is talking about that details, little things, and that's what you do. I mean, when you lose by 1 point, you're going to look at, like we said earlier, 100 possessions,
You're
100
a nitpick.
things. You have to, but that's like where you try to find the improvement, and that's the tough part about a series too. Because if this was again the regular season, and hey, you know what's hurting this team right now is rebounding. Right. And you have the next practice where you focus on rebounding, you show the film, you this, and probably the next game you're better at rebounding. But when you get to a playoff series, it's like you got to do this part better. Well, there's tweaks, there's adjustments. The game's played differently, officiated differently, and the things you were worried about in game 2 don't factor into game 3. Maybe the things you were worried about in game 3 don't factor into game 4. That's where I think a playoff series becomes kind of tricky on those things.
Yeah, and again, when you're going through everything with a fine comb, you start to find, like he says, those gaps. To me, the one that stands out the most, and Doris Burke was pointing out a lot on the broadcast yesterday, was in the fourth quarter, that, last few minutes when they kept turning the ball over. That was when they were really showing their age, I thought. That was when they were really showing, like, we haven't been here before. But the one thing I did like about it on the other end was, well, they still found a way to come back.
Yeah.
They still found a way to kind of crawl themselves out. And I think we forget, because especially when you watch them, the level of play and the way they're matching a veteran team like the Warriors, this is such a team that is still, from an experience standpoint, really young. Yeah, they got guys on the team that have some individual playoff experience, but as a collective unit, dude, this is their first time. They're going to make mistakes. This is why a lot of people had the Warriors favored to win, that was because of gaps like that, where the Warriors have been here, because it's not just the Kings are turning the ball over. The Warriors know how to take advantage of it.
Yeah. And the turnovers number was low, but it was at the time, right?
Right.
It was when
It's
they
timing.
happened. And
the context of the situation.
You don't want to learn these lessons. You can learn the lessons in a win, but it's better when you learn them in a loss. And there's all these points of emphasis that went well too, but they still lost. Let's hear from Darren Fox about where he feels this series is right now.
Yeah, I think the way that we came out today, obviously it's a game of runs, but we had just too many mental lapses to where we couldn't basically get over the hump, get a double-digit lead, and just try to build off of that. And obviously, this is the defending champs, and they made us pay. It's 2-2. The only thing that's happened in this series so far is both teams have won at home. So we need to go home. We need to take care of home court.
Yeah, so De'Aaron alluding to those lapses as well, but he's right about the 2-2 part. People can try to make a grander statement on the overall outcome of this series, but the reality, Jay, is if the Kings win 2 games at Golden One Center, they're moving on.
Jason, it's a 0-0 series at this point, right? And you got home court advantage.
Yeah.
You
played the regular season for.
Right, exactly. This is why we talked about it for, months leading into this. Man, it'd be great for the Kings to get home court advantage in the first round. Let's, look at everything back towards, forget everything that happened in the first 4 games. Let's go to game 5. Here we are. Let's not forget the Warriors, one of the worst road records in the NBA.
Yeah.
The Warriors still have to come in and prove that they can win on the road. For the Kings, they were one of the better road teams. Listen, lost to Golden State. They're kind of in the same predicament, but at least the Kings have a history of winning on the road this season.
Yeah.
This Warriors team doesn't. Now, does that factor into their thinking probably going in? Probably not. But the Kings know that if they can step on the gas pretty early, it'll be tough for the Warriors to come back and climb out of a hole.
Yeah, and so now you've got a series that becomes so much more interesting here in the last couple of games, and something the Kings, the code they haven't been able to crack, I think, and I'm going to get this more on the opposing team than put the blame on Sabonis. I think the way the Warriors have defended him have made it really frustrating. He's been fine. He hasn't been the dominant all-star. He hasn't been the same player he was during the season. And DeMontis J isn't the, hey, throw the ball into him, get out of his way and let him take 25 shots. That's not his game, but he's also not the triple-double watch every night. Like last night, I think he got his first rebound about some point in the second quarter. He had a big rebounding game in game 3, but look, if you watch the 82 games, he hasn't looked like the same guy.
No, and again, I think it's more so, I don't think it's Domas hasn't showed up for the playoffs. I think the Warriors have just completely schemed everything around him. They're going to take him out and make everyone else beat them. The one thing I would say about that, and you saw it yesterday, man, if you can get him the ball, though, in the low post, they're going to have to double him down there. And that's kind of something I wish they would go to more. And I said that during the regular season, man. There were so many games where when the Kings needed a bucket, they would go to him down low, and he can get you a bucket. He has a really good game around the basket. I think that's one area where Kevon Looney and, can't really go one-on-one with him down there. Yeah. And really nobody on that team can, except the closest one I thought Draymond made some big plays on him, especially late to get that steal from him. But other than that, how do you stop him if you're the Warriors, the way you've seen this defense play, the way you've seen them scheme? What's their answer to him in the post?
Yeah. And I think, again, I don't know that they could do a steady diet of that, but they could do more of it. Here's Sabonis talking about still trying to find his game.
Yeah, every game I just got to figure out when to be aggressive, when to shoot, when to run the play all the way, and that's something I'm dealing with, and my teammates have my back.
The other part, too, is I felt like his catch point, that he had it a couple times yesterday, Jay, where he was definitely inside the arc, outside the free throw line, so kind of in that middle gap there. And Looney, he dropped all the way to the restricted area. It's like, go ahead and shoot.
No, that's Sabonis, the thing. They're daring him.
And then he finally he missed one or two, but he made a couple. You can make that. If they're giving you that shot, you have to shoot it.
And I don't know if it was either prior to the game, after practice, after the game the other night, but they were mentioning he was staying and getting more jump shots before practice. So they're going to dare him to shoot. That is one thing. And, prior to last night, he was bricking him.
Right.
And the shot doesn't even look comfortable. It almost is like he's kind of questioning whether or not, where it's like, I just want him to get to the point where, and maybe this is something his teammates need to tell him, coaches need to be like, look, dude, if they're leaving you open at the elbow, don't think shoot. Because we've seen him all year when he does get those opportunities, he's pretty money, but he's also not hesitating during the regular season. I still feel like he's hesitating to take those shots.
And he has to, again, I think if there's a point where the Kings either get points or assists from Sabonis, I'd take assists.
Sure.
Because, if he has a big scoring day and had 25, you'll take it. But if he's in that 8 to 12 assist range, he's making everybody better. And I just don't feel like it's the normal flow that we see this Kings offense.
Yeah. And, yesterday was the first time it was really telling, because you could also point out, like in game 3, when you see the low assist numbers, it's like, well, they also can't buy a basket.
True.
And that factors in as well. But yesterday they could buy a basket and his assist numbers were still low. So it's at the point where I think you do have to just adjust after 4 games. If they haven't adjusted and have him running and can find a way to make him the initiator, I don't think that happens in 5 through 7. So you just got to go with a little bit of a different game plan. They have, but again, I would like to see him get more touches in the low post. That's all.
The other thing the Warriors have taken away, Jay, is usually Sabonis gets 2 to 3 of these a game where he gets the rebound and just goes all the way and just never gets stopped. They're taking his fast break.
They collapse on him when he does that.
All right. Now, more reaction to game 1, maybe the Warriors side, still from you guys as well as 800-920-1140. What happened with that phantom timeout? The Warriors had nearly a colossal meltdown. We'll hear their reaction to that and more of a recap of Game 4 as we continue on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Hand off McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feels super, baby! The 5-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
on your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Let Shane and his team at bridgehavenhomes.com take that stress away. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, the A's are hoping that outfielder Brent Rooker is a classic late bloomer. After a storied career at Mississippi State, the Twins made him a high pick back in 2017. But now the A's are his fourth organization. But at the age of 28, he's making the most of playing every day. Through the games of April 17th, he was batting .324 with 4 homers and 11 RBIs.
You can't host movie night on your phone's hotspot. It's time for real home internet on the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. New customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet for just $25 a month for 2 years during our Xfinity 10G network launch celebration, now through April 23rd. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
For those of you on our YouTube page, thank you. Keep hitting that thumbs up button right at the bottom of the screen. That helps us. We're moving those numbers. Appreciate that. Those of you that want to check in on the text line, 916-339-1140. On the phone lines, 1-800-920-1140. Jason Ross, Jay Mars. Let's check in with our guy, Kareem. Kareem, welcome in. Happy Monday.
Hey, happy Monday to you guys. What's going on?
How are you feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. Just wanted to really, talk about that game yesterday. The game 4, man. Mike Brown, he touched on it, pivotal mistakes, down the stretch. I mean, it was a clean game. You got to look at the turnovers for both teams. I think it was only a total of 21. They both shot a high percentage from the free throw line. So, the game, could have went either way. I know the Kings are probably happy with Keegan Murray starting to knock down a few shots. I think the first 3 games, his shot wasn't there, but he was able to knock down a few shots in yesterday's game. But we all know Game 5 winner, when the series tied 2-2, the Game 5 winner goes on to win the series, 75 to 80% of the time. So I think tomorrow's game is pivotal. Yeah, the Warriors were 11-30 on the road in the regular season, but they just got to get one. And, I think this series is going to probably go 7. And it don't bode well for the Warriors if they move on, because all the other series are probably going to end in 4 or 5 or 5 or, based on what's going on with the Clippers, the Lakers, and even Denver let one slip away last night. So let's see what Game 5 brings. I appreciate the time. Y'all have a blessed day.
Take it easy, Kareem.
Thank you, Kareem. We appreciate that. Jay, there was some, I forget the number. G-Man had it during the broadcast yesterday, but when the Warriors have multiple days off, obviously they have a better record. It's an older team, and this series is kind of laid out pretty nicely for them. And they're going to get 2 days off to get ready for Wednesday. Obviously, there'll be a Game 6, and if there's a Game 7, there's not a lot of time in between. And I think the pace and just keep pushing and keep pushing. There's times where the Warriors have subbed out players where I remember there was one here where it looked like Steph was just spent. I think it was Game 2. Now, he came back in and was fine. He got his rest, but you go, man, is this going to take its toll? And I wouldn't say it has per se, but they also have had a couple of days off between games, which I think has helped them.
Yeah, and, going back to Steph, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking, one guy we haven't really talked about much is I think Davion Mitchell has been awesome off the bench in this series. Not just I mean, and they're pointing it out on the broadcast. Jason, you're there. You obviously see it. You're not going to stop Steph Curry. Right. And Mike Brown's made that a point. Like, you don't shut down a Steph Curry. You don't stop Steph Curry. You just try to make life more difficult on him. And Davion Mitchell's done a hell of a job making life a lot more difficult on Steph Curry. And to your point, especially if the Kings can win in Game 5 with that short amount of time, the Kings do have fresher, younger legs than the Warriors. That really does benefit the Kings. That's why this Game 5, outside of the obvious stuff, is so crucial, because then you can go back there. And it's just, I think they've planned really well, and I think they've done a really good job of pushing the pace. There wasn't a whole lot of time yesterday where I thought they were, slowing down.
Yeah.
And you're right. Just keep pushing the pace. I think that is the best strategy going forward for this team.
That's the way they play. That's the way they'll continue to play. Let's check in with Jeff next here on Sactown Sports. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, guys. It was a great game, and I'm going to give you a few comments. You can share with me what your output, but I think we have a superstar in the making in Fox. He's going to be all offensive player or whatever.
All NBA.
Player for the All-Star and All NBA. Thank you. But anyway, my take from the Warriors, I've watched them for years. This team is not winning a championship this year. The Kings have exposed them tremendously. And then what I got from last night's game is it's interesting that Draymond volunteered to come off the bench. What they showed is Kings' best offense against your best offense, we win. So now we're at home. That's a big plus. And that's a big plus for anybody should the Warriors come out of this in the future, because they're not the same defensive team. Thanks for the time, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jeff. I will caution everybody on this. No matter if it takes the Kings or Warriors 7 games, 6 games, just like Jay, each game is independent of itself. So is the series. Like if the Sixers 1-4, and let's say it takes Boston 7 to get through. Oh, Philly, it's throw that all away. You're now playing a new team. It's a really now you may take some toll on you as playing more games, but what if the Warriors match up better with the Lakers or Grizzlies, or the Kings match up better or worse? It's all going to be how you match up with the next team.
Yeah, and again, to your point, it's all about the matchup. This is I think the Warriors and Kings match up well with each other.
Clearly looks like it.
I think they match up well. Now, when you go to his point, he doesn't think the Warriors are winning a title regardless. I tend to agree with that, although I'm not even trying to jump to any conclusions about who's winning a title yet. We're in the first round of the playoffs. But, just for sake of argument, the Warriors go through. Let's say the Lakers go through.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers are a really difficult matchup for the Warriors because the Lakers are so big.
Yeah, much bigger than the Kings.
Yeah, and the Kings have really, that's the one area it's worked out well for him. You've seen, even in his limited minutes, I thought Alex Len is playing really big down there and making life difficult for them.
Yeah, and so, I think those things are all independent of one another, just like these games in the series, and then each series moving on. But yesterday, it was about late game execution. The Kings had some turnovers, some missed shots, and then the final shot to win. It felt like it was over when the Kings were down 5. Warriors had the ball. They're trying the backcourt trap, and then Curry called timeout. I have to say, on our radio broadcast, we were not clued in that they didn't have timeout. Like, we weren't sure. I saw Kerr kind of crumple down to the floor, put his hands up to his head, and I thought, oh, he didn't want the timeout there? I didn't realize they were out of timeouts because of the challenge they had before that. So it was a critical play, gave a technical. Kings had the ball, made the tee, hit a 3. That set up for the late game drama. Let's hear Steve Kerr talk about that ghost timeout.
That you had no timeouts
100% fault. I knew we didn't have any timeouts left. We took the challenge, and when the challenge was unsuccessful, as we were exiting the huddle, that's on me. I've got to remind the guys we're out of timeouts. I didn't say that, and so Steph wasn't aware. So that's on me for not making that clear. And then on that play, we had all 4 of the other guys running to the other end, and they hit Steph in the backcourt. We didn't have a trail man, so we got to handle the pressure better. Late game, take care of the ball, but the timeout is 100% on me.
What's interesting about that is Steph Curry later said, he's like, well, look, I know coach is taking the heat for that. He goes, I'm not going to lie. I thought I made a really smart play. He goes, I was trapped. I used a timeout. So Steph, clearly didn't know.
Mhm.
And it would have been, Jay, let's, again, revisionist history. Barnes hits the angle 3 for the win. That would have been a killer loss for the Warriors.
And that, I think,
would have blunder.
And I think that would have actually been more of the narrative than like, oh my God, what a great game winner. It would have been, that should have never happened.
Yeah.
That would have been the entire story we're telling this morning.
Right.
And it sure looked like that was going to happen. You know, you get up there, you hit the tee. It's like, okay, you're still down 4.
Yeah.
But man,
that 3 by
that
Fox.
3 on Draymond.
Contested.
Yeah. And Draymond, even you see him afterwards, like, damn, I can't do anything about that. You know, especially after those two were jawing at each other earlier in the game.
You're in the moment, and the second De'Aaron let that go, I mean,
I felt good.
Oh, really?
I felt great.
I had my inner voice going, like, what are you doing? Like, I just felt like you needed a basket. Obviously, you make it. It's great. But I'm like, I didn't think you should take it. And
I loved it. I love that he did it. Even if he missed it, I love that he was like, screw it. Draymond's on me. I'm feeling it. Fourth quarter Fox in the building.
Yes.
Feeling myself. And he was. You know, you go back to that last play. And again, we can harp all over the last play. Don't forget, they had to play defense.
Yeah.
They had to get the stop, and they did.
Right.
You know, I mean, Steph could have iced that game too, and we're not even talking about this, but you hit the shot, you get the rebound. Look, you just missed an open shot.
Yeah.
It's all it is. It all is. I tell people, again, we started earlier in the show kind of nitpicking all the different scenarios that can happen. Don't do that to yourself this morning. It's not an exercise worth it.
You know, what we will do, though, when we come back to start the 8 o'clock hour, I think we look at the bigger scope. We've seen 4 games. What are the positives? What are the negatives? And will these trends continue? The other thing, too, I always say going into a series, Jay, generally in a series, there's going to be a handful of 50-50 games that could go either way. I would say we've had 3, and the Kings have won 2 of the 3. That's a good sign. But you let the most recent one get away, and one that was on the floor that you could have taken control of the series. Certainly wouldn't have ended it, but I think everybody would have liked the Kings' chances up 3-1.
I'm not a big, of course. I think if they're up 3-1, I think, I don't like to say it's in the bag, but
pretty close.
It's pretty darn close, especially going into a game 5 against, again, one of the worst road teams in the NBA.
2 of 3 at home, too.
Yeah. And so, but it's not there. The other thing is, coming into game 5 is the Kings have won, like you said, 2 50-50 games. The Warriors have essentially won 1. Do you feel like either team kind of needs that definitive, I kicked your you-know-what victory? Or do you believe in that kind of stuff at this point?
I guess the Warriors have had the 1, and I don't know what that...
I just feel like they won a slop fest. I don't feel like they really came out and made a statement in that game.
That's
you know what I mean?
Because I felt like both teams played better yesterday. So if the Warriors had the game they had yesterday and the Kings weren't there, and they won that by 20, or vice versa, the Kings played the game they did and the Warriors didn't have an answer, and the Kings won by 20, that'd have been like, oh man, maybe we're not to this team's level. But yesterday, my only prediction going in, we had a bunch of people down, how are you feeling? I don't feel good. Others think the Kings are going to win. I just had a hunch. I said, I think this is going to be the best game of the series. And I said, because the Kings basically did not play well in game 3, and I didn't think the Warriors did either, but they won. The Warriors were the more desperate team. I said, now we're to the point of everybody's going to play hard. Everybody's seen everything. I just think we're going to see a really good game, and we did.
Yeah, and I think we'll see another good one on. I don't think we're going to see either team just come out.
They're both too desperate.
They're both, I don't think one's going to come out and just completely stomp out the other. And we're looking at it like, oh my God, how did the Warriors lose by 27 in that game?
Can't waste a game now.
No, you can't. And both teams know that, like you said. So I think we're in, no matter what, Jason, we're in for some, again, hate to be Mr. Captain Obvious, we're in for some high-level drama these next couple games.
Well, it's been good. It's been there. It's been a good series. We've seen 4 games. So again, in the next 2 segments, we're going to pick apart what we've seen positively and negatively. Let's start with the negative, get that out of the way, then get to some positive. Still have much more, and then we start to lead into the magnitude of this huge Game 5. A busy 8 o'clock hour coming your way next here on Sactown Sports.
It's Cattles and Rami.
I think it's time for a break. Oh, of all the people in the world telling us when to break. That's delicious. How many breaks have you run through like a marathoner?
Quite a few.
And we're late because you and Simone want to do whispering for 4 minutes. Turned into an ASMR show. What the hell's happening?
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
I'm Scott Trout, attorney and CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. We help men deal with the life changes triggered by divorce, such as child custody and property division, among many others. But life changes also occur after divorce. These changes can make parts of your existing court order irrelevant or harder to follow. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell. We're a partner men can count on.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Cordell.
Carmichael Dave here, welcoming back my dear friends at Fire Wings. 21 different flavors. I had 4 of those 21 Saturday for the game, watching with the family. As always, breaded Malaysian curry. Yeah, you better bet I got that curry. Knocked it out of the park, too. Go to firewings.com to make your order. That's what we did. We ordered 2 hours in advance, picked it up. There's nothing better for the game than Fire Wings. Check out the locations nearest you. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville is bringing you Larry the Cable Guy.
It's a cool anniversary. This is my 27th year in the comedy business, and it's my 5th year being funny, so I'm excited about both of them, all right?
Saturday, May 6th at Gold Country Casino Resort. 2 shows at 7 and 9:30 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy.
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, basketball fans, the playoffs are here, and Sacramento's ready to win it all. And while you're cheering them on, you're going to want a nice, cool home to watch those games in. That's why you should call Fox Family Heating and Air for all of your air conditioning repair needs. With our amazing technicians and lifetime warranty on most repairs, we'll make sure that your home stays cool and comfortable for the playoffs. So come on, beat the buzzer and call Fox Family Heating and Air today.
Fox Family Heating and Air. I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent, but then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try Babbel for free. That's BABBEL.com.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, good morning and happy Monday. I'm Jay Mars. It was a roller coaster Game 4 yesterday in San Francisco between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. That came down to one final shot.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for 3. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires, and the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece.
The Warriors won by the final score of 126-125. Despite the loss, Darren Fox continues to be electric in the playoffs. He hit for 38 points yesterday to go along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists in 40 minutes. And some good news for Kings fans was the return of Keegan Murray. After struggling in the first 3 games, Keegan finished with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. It's going to be a very loud Golden One Center. Game 5 happens this Wednesday night at the G1C. Coming up on today's show, our Sacramento Kings insider Frankie Carticelli joins us to help break down all the action that happened in San Francisco over the past few days at 9 a.m. from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And you can get all your Kings playoff coverage online at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, here we go. Halfway through the show. 2 more hours to go. 1 hour from now, the great Frankie Carticelli will be in studio. Sactown Sports. Yeah, great. Kings Insider will join us.
Did not know we were proclaiming that now.
I am.
Lord.
We're going to get some positives and negatives through 4 games of this series, and also a huge positive. Thank you to all those of you on our YouTube page. We hit it, 100.
Yeah.
102. That means we got another 2 hours to go. We get to 200. Let's do it. Let's move those goalposts.
By
Hit
this
that
segment.
thumbs up button. Yes. Those of you, there are a lot of you watching. Thank you so much for doing that. Hit that thumbs up button at the bottom. It really means a lot, helps out the metrics. We appreciate that. Jay, you got something to lead us off with this hour.
Oh, I always like fun stuff to make fun of fan
I
bases.
think you're up to something.
Remember the get-in price for a Kings Warriors ticket in Game 1 was $444.
The average?
Yeah.
Okay.
The get-in, that's like the cheapest, I believe. What do you think was the get-in, aka the cheapest price to get into last night's Timberwolves Nuggets game?
Oh, Timberwolves Nuggets in Minnesota 3-0. Get in 86.
Lower.
Lower? 56.
Lower.
No. What do you got?
Keep going.
36.
Lower.
26.
Lower.
16.
17. $17 last night could have got you into the Timberwolves Nuggets game in Minnesota.
Hey, it was overtime. You saw free basketball.
Yeah, you did. And that's
And they stayed alive.
$17. $17 well spent, in my opinion.
Last home game of the year?
Possibly.
I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was. Wow.
$17.
Well, and the get in for game 1, I know was a special deal. I think it went down a little bit for game 2. Does it go back up for game 5?
I mean, I don't think it'll top Game 1, but it'll be a high price.
Now, would game 7?
Oh, God. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think Game 7 definitely tops out. Because then I think that's where you might actually see more of an influx of Warriors fans that would pay top dollar.
Yeah, and I will say this, we kind of talked about atmospheres. Game 1, I think what surprised us all here is how many Kings fans there were. It was really, I would say it was 98% to 2. Game 2 was maybe 95 to 5. You were at game 3. There were some Kings fans,
wasn't
but
much.
Not much. And then game 4, I felt like there was a little more yesterday, but not that much.
Nah.
It was mainly Warrior fans. And so we'll see how game 5 goes. The thing is, if it goes 7, like game 1, there was a week of lead up to plan for it. I mean, you could be at Friday night. It could be the exact same situation as last night. Maybe the Kings are up 3 games to 2. Harrison Barnes for the win or a King for the win. Miss. Oh, no. Oh, wait, we got a game 7.
Yep.
I got to go buy tickets. So there's not a lot of lead up if there is a game 7.
Game 7 will be a very expensive ticket.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. So, Jay, we've seen 4 games. This next segment, will kind of do generalizations of what we see. Not necessarily, hey, Keegan was better last game, but I think by and large, I don't think he's had a great series. But we're going to kind of do positives and negatives. And the one thing from the Kings side I would say is a negative, and I mean, this is a tough one to go, but they really cannot stop Steph Curry. And I think Davion's done a really good job, and he's made these battles tough. But I was looking at plus minus, and I know it's not a stat that everybody truly values, but it shows the minutes he's on the floor, the impact he's had. In the first 2 games that they lost, they were plus 14 with Steph on the floor, and they lost both games. Then they go to game 3 where they blow out the Kings. He's plus 24. He's plus 7 in a 1-point game yesterday. So when he's on the floor, they've been better than the Kings, and he scored 30, 28, 36, 32. While scheming to slow him down, he's still getting his.
Right, but that's the one thing, though, and they pointed the same thing out kind of to what you're alluding to on the broadcast yesterday. I think the Warriors were something like they were either plus 6 with him on and then minus 12 with him on, or it was reversed. They were plus 12 with him on minus 6, and that's when the Kings would do all their damage is once Steph would go on the court, then it was like the Warriors would fall apart almost. It was really reminiscent of earlier in the year for the Kings when Domas and De'Aaron wouldn't be on the floor at the same time. They would have small stretches of that and it's like, oh my God, the Kings cannot get any offense if their life depended on it. Once he is out there, because he's arguably the greatest shooter of all time, right? And I think there's a lot of people that make the argument it is. Because of that, we don't talk enough about how great of a facilitator he is. He is such a good facilitator that ball movement stops when he is off the floor.
Yeah. And I think there's been a couple of times where I'll go right to his shooting and his 3-point. He's just so lethal. He's probably had, I don't know, over under 3 drives to the basket a game that he gets all the way there. And it's not you put so much pressure on the perimeter, but like he just keeps dribbling, ball handling, curls, gets around. He's nifty. He's kind of slippery in there. He's been great. I mean, he really has. Here's another one. The fact that the Warriors, I would say the only way I label this, Jay, is that they've made it through the Draymond mess. And the mess was you could tell they felt slighted that he got ejected. Not ejected, but suspended. And then they quickly moved on like, hey, okay, it happened. But they didn't think it should have. He certainly didn't think it should have. that could have fractured them. I heard some rumblings that they even said, look, and they were talking a little bit to the Kings on game 3 that, hey, we're better without him. Like, I don't know that they meant that in a sense, or did they? And then even yesterday's unique wrinkle of him coming off the bench, but yet starting the second half. Coach Kerr has changed his starting lineup in game 1 to game 2 was different. Game 3 was different, kept it this game, but he's played way more people, a lot of different things, all to kind of match up with the Kings, but I still think he's looking for the perfect combination, and he's going to keep looking until he can find it.
Yeah, and I would imagine, though, he'll stick with this starting lineup because it's won 2 straight games, number one, and I think Draymond was saying that either pre or post that, hey, look, man, I'll come off the bench. Like, this lineup worked. We're not going to work it. I do not think they are a better team without Draymond Green.
I don't either.
I thought they played like crap on Wednesday. Thursday, excuse me. Yeah, they just won. I think the Kings played worse. That's all it was.
I would say it was a missed opportunity for the Kings. It was kind of a wasted game. You can't waste a game in the series. The Kings had 0 chance to win that game.
No, they looked so bad. And the Warriors, we talked about it me and you haven't talked a lot about that, but I felt they had the Kings on the ropes. No hyperbole, 10 different times, and just couldn't knock them out because the Warriors could not make shots to fall either. They're missing easy shots. That team is not better without Draymond Green at all. That narrative needs to go away. It needs to go away fast. That's stupid.
Yeah. Another negative, I would say that the ability to play, what they've gotten out of Draymond and Looney compared to Sabonis has been not even necessarily a wash. I think it's been plus for the Warriors.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't even think that's close, especially when you look at that game 3 and the way Looney was able to step up in Draymond's absence. 20 boards, 9 assists. Those are, we don't really see Draymond grab 20 boards a lot, but the 9 assists, those are numbers you're used to seeing from him. But Looney was able to step in there and do a really good job. And it's just unfortunate the Kings missed on that game because, when Looney was out, what else is going on there?
Right.
And so, yeah, that stinks. And the overall aspect of that they've just been able to take Domantas Sabonis out as the facilitator. I mean, that is the Kings' bread and butter. That is what got them into the 3 seed, really was him facilitating. Yes, De'Aaron has been amazing, but, we've talked about it at times. A big part of De'Aaron's amazingness, if that's even a word, is playing and having that offense run through Sabonis. The way it works, man, that's been such a big part. That's, a big catalyst for him, his game taking the step up. So, yeah, I mean, you hope they can figure that one out, but that's really hurt them.
I want to get your opinion on this one, Jay. I labeled this one. It's a negative, but it can be turned into a positive. I feel like the Warriors have had more players down the roster play well compared to the Kings. Now, the positive of that is it's 2-2, but I think Draymond, Looney, we mentioned Curry's been unreal. You could look at Clay's had a good series. Wiggins, in spots, DiVincenzo and Poole, where you go down the Kings roster, it's Fox by far.
Yep.
Monk. Sabonis has had moments, but not what we'd expect.
He's been good. And that's the thing. He hasn't been great. And that's the thing with Domas is we have to give him, we have to be fair. It's not like he has just been taken out of the series completely.
Right. He's not what he was in the regular season. And then Herter's not. Keegan yesterday, but overall I would say no. But again, I don't know if I still look at it as a negative because you go down the list. I think there's more Warriors that have played well compared to the Kings.
Yeah, I think so too. But also I think really though, you could also find spots where the Kings have had guys playing well that we did not expect. I think Trey Lyles has been pretty good. Len's been good. I think Davion, to me, it's the bench scoring outside of Monk hasn't been great, but the other places that they've made contributions. But I would agree with you. I think up and down the Warriors have played better. But like you said, that can be a positive because it means, well, they're still the Kings haven't played their best basketball yet.
Right.
That's the one thing I've taken from that too.
The other one I would say is we alluded to this in the last segment. Game 4 was a 50-50 game. I mean, it really was. And it could have been anybody's game. So who wins that swing game? The Kings don't have to win in San Francisco, but the difference is if you had won Game 4, up 3-1, we gave the stat earlier, 95% of the time, teams up 3-1 win. Warriors have come from behind a 3-1, and they've lost a 3-1 lead. But I would have liked the Kings' chances up 3-1.
Oh, I think I said it last segment or a couple segments ago. It's not in the bag you win yesterday, but boy, you're starting to get the bag out, right?
Yeah.
Like you're feeling pretty good. Again, you're going into Game 5. It's going to be rowdy inside Golden One Center. You're up 3-1. I think it might actually be more rowdy than it was in Game 1 or 2 because you're looking at like, oh my God, we can put them away tonight, number one. And again, the Warriors are not a good road team. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
And we talk about, I even saw a guy in the stands yesterday with the flip the switch sign. I don't know if you spotted that. There was a guy that the switch was up, flip the switch.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them flip the switch on the road at all this season, playoffs or regular season. We're coming in here, again, we're not dancing on anyone's graves. We're not going to do all that. But we're feeling pretty damn good this morning that, hey, the Kings are going to be looking for a second-round matchup pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, we've got to look at the other side of this, the positives of what we've seen through 4 games. We'll do that when we come back here on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sactown Sports wants to congratulate Kings head coach Mike Brown for being the first coach to unanimously win the NBA Coach of the Year award.
100 first place votes, first time ever. Wow. A unanimous decision.
Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. I'm really appreciative of being in Sacramento. The fans, the city has been fantastic.
How will Coach Brown lead the Kings during the playoffs?
Tune in to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com to find out.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
After months of rain and mud, nothing beats a fresh pair of work boots. At Work World, it's the perfect time to gear up with new Wolverine boots during our annual spring sale. Wolverine boots have been trusted by American workers for over a century, and new innovative technology like Ultra Spring cushioning will have your feet thanking you on the job site. Shop Wolverine and find great limited time deals on workwear and boots during the spring sale at Work World. Find your local store and shop online at workworld.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Jason Ross, J. Mars, rolling right along here on this Monday morning, taking you till 10 o'clock. Still to come, Frankie Carticelli joins us at 9 o'clock, our Sactown Sports Kings Insider. We just focused in on our last segment on, 4 games, kind of broad generalizations, the negatives of this series from a Kings perspective. Now let's hit the positives, Jay. Again, we've seen 4 games, series tied at 2 as we reset that. I think first and foremost, the thing that's jumped out to me by far is Darren Fox is absolutely built for this. He has been phenomenal. I thought this going in. I think a lot of people thought he was made for this stage, but you got to be proven right, and Darren's been so good.
He looks like he's been there before, right?
He does.
Like he looks like he's been playoff tested, battle tested. He's been through it. And, outside of the statistics, which have been off the charts, just look at his moxie out on the court. Never, ever once have you looked at it and you're like, oh man, I think the moment might be getting to De'Aaron finally, or, oh man, De'Aaron really seems out of his game. Not at all. And I go back to that double tech in the first quarter. Dude, he's like, all right, bring it. I don't care.
Yeah, you're not going to talk to my teammate like that.
Right. No, you heard him say it. It was after that Clippers win earlier in the year. It's like, we don't give a you-know-what who's on the other team. He does not care who's on the other team. Like, I'm sure he has a level of respect for these guys. They've been there and they've done that. But he's not going to come in and bow down to you. He does not care what you have done in the playoffs. Clay wants to show the 4 rings. De'Aaron does not care.
Right.
It's very simple.
And, I get why people do this. There's been stuff nationally said, I forget who said it, but it was talking like comparing Fox and John Morant.
Right? It was El Amin Hassan.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Like, De'Aaron Fox wishes he was. I said, look, he's got to get to the stage. If he gets to the stage, he can look like Tatum. Mm-hmm. He can look like Donovan Mitchell. He can look like Dame Lillard. He can look like any of these guys at Booker that have had a chance, and you go, wow, they're really good because you've seen him play in the playoffs and put up numbers. Let him get there. He can look like Curry at times. Like all these guys that have built legendary careers, Fox is that good. He just has to be on the stage, and he's been awesome.
Yeah, he's on the stage. He's showing out, and it's fun to watch all the national media like, oh, we owe the Kings an apology.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God, I didn't know this guy, De'Aaron Fox, was this dude. I mean, you're hearing it from announcers like, they're just proclaiming him an all-NBA player this year. Whereas, I mean, it was 2 months ago, Jason, we were like, does Fox have an argument for all-NBA? Now they're just flat out saying he's an all-NBA player.
Yeah, there's more people like this. SGA, give him on that stage. Edwards is now getting on this. Like, there are a lot of good young players in this league. You got to give them the opportunity, and then when they get on that stage, let them shine.
Yep.
And he's doing that. That would be certainly a positive. I think this has been a trait for this team all season long. I didn't know what would happen in the postseason. It's here. Their compete level is awesome. Like, they will keep battling. They're relentless. Yesterday, again, down. That felt like end of the third quarter. I brought up this sequence earlier. Just a beautiful Warriors classic championship sequence. Ball around the perimeter. Kings are here. Now they're here. They're here. But they're like getting further and further behind the ball. And then one more pass to the corner. Clay, corner three, right in front of the Kings bench.
Boom.
Kind of looks at them, taunts them. It's 10. I'm like, oh, is that the dagger? Nope. I mean, the Kings 7-0 run to start the fourth quarter. That's a road, a championship team, tough place to play. Compete level was right back in the game.
What do you credit that to? Because I can't put my finger on it. I know they asked Mike Brown that, and he doesn't even really seem to have like a deeper answer other than, we just stay poised and we've done this all year. Like, what is like for such a young team that is not as experienced as them? Like, I cannot put my finger on why that is.
Yeah, I can't either per se. I mean, I think it's a little bit of Fox. Like, Fox probably believes like we're going to win, but it wasn't all him in the 7-0 run. Keegan hit the big three to make it the 7-0 run. But I think some of those habits were created in the regular season and they transferred over here. Other positives, the Kings. Hey, look, it's 2-2. They still have home court advantage. One of the question marks coming in, and what we had wanted all regular season, was to be a great home court team. And I think during the regular season, they were good at home. Not great. Didn't win enough games. Had some disappointing home losses. Jay, they're still in that spot. They won game 1 and 2 and kind of found a way. If they win game 5 and if they win game 7, they don't have to win a game in San Francisco.
Nope. But you'd like them to.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm saying this completely objective. I'd rather them win in 6 than 7. And that's me basically taking a game 7 away from a fan base at home. But listen, I don't care. Win in 6. You want to get a road win. If you're going to win the series, you want a road win going into the second round.
Yes. And I think too, the narrative of let's play it out that the Kings win game 5 and the Warriors win game 6. So the simple saying is, well, everybody's won at home. And again, I still think the silliest thing is the series hasn't started. It started, guys. I mean, we have a series.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean someone has to win on the road, but you just put yourself, Jay, into a game 7 where, okay, now you go, I would bet the Warriors would be favored. That's irrelevant, but maybe by a point or two based on their past and their experience. But you just don't want to put it into one game where you go, is that the game you go 4 of 37 from you just don't know what'll happen in a deciding game.
Let's not find out.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to put it in the hands of officials of a one-game situation.
I don't know if you have this listed. You kind of alluded it to a little bit in the last segment, and I wanted to throw this in there as a positive. The Kings haven't played their best basketball yet.
I would agree with that. I think yesterday was pretty good, but there were still mistakes in it. And the other thing, too, kind of looped into that we were talking as a negative all season long. You tell me, I felt like, the narrative on the Kings, well, they just don't. Number one offense, but they don't defend. They don't guard anybody. I don't look at this series as a lack of defense by the Kings.
This is one of the best scoring teams of all time.
Yeah, but I think they've defended them well.
They've defended them well. This team just what was that shot in the first quarter where Davion is on Steph? And Steph
release was like
he threw it almost, and Steph, and it was just the only reason he was able to get that shot off. Number one, I think he was trying to flail some contact there that didn't happen.
Right,
but it was he's like, oh gosh, I have daylight finally. Let me shoot the ball.
Yeah,
you're not going to hold the Warriors under 100 points. You're likely not going to hold them under 110 on any given night.
Yeah.
They're playing as good as defense as you can on this team.
Yeah.
And so, I agree with you. I don't think the defense has been the issue that everyone thought it was going to be. It hasn't really stuck out to me like a sore thumb. Do they have lapses? Yes.
Every team does.
The Warriors have had lapses on defense. This isn't, to me, a series defined by defense, more so as this is two of the best offenses in the league just doing what they do.
Yeah. And then, again, knowing personnel, there's been a couple plays, and I remember asking Henry during one of the breaks, I'm like, man, there's literally, especially to the basket, closer to the Warriors bench yesterday, there was a couple plays in the first half where maybe it would be Looney or Draymond that would get the ball almost at the foul line. And then on each wing, there's two in that dunker spot. They just cut to the basket, and there's only one defender. And I'm going, you're helpless because it's Sabonis trying to guard the ball, and there's two cutting. I'm like, it's just the Kings are still worried about threes, and just sometimes
Jason,
good offense can beat you.
There's just some offenses you're not going to stop.
Right.
Again, you'll slow them down a little bit. You'll make life more difficult on them. You're not going to hold this. You're not going to make the Warriors offense look pathetic or anything like that. They're going to score points. You have to score more. I know, very obvious statement, but you just have to. And what I meant more so is you just got to gun with them.
Yeah, I got to ask you this. You said, and I agree with this, that the Kings haven't played their best basketball, but will they be able to? I mean, part of that is the Warriors, and I think their best basketball is Sabonis and Fox cooking, and then it doesn't have to be Herter or Keegan or Monk, but one or two of those guys have to go. But as long as the two staples are there. Fox has been himself.
Mm-hmm.
Sabonis hasn't, and I think that's been the Warriors. So if they can't get that, will they be able to play their best basketball?
Well, here's how I look at it. If you start trying to facilitate again with Domas up top, which is where you are at your best, if he can start hitting that shot consistently, when they give it to him, don't hesitate, shoot it. And I guarantee you that is going to be a point of emphasis like, dude, you need to get out of your head, shoot that shot. Because if they have to start getting up on him, and respecting that shot, that changes everything. And so I really look at it from that standpoint is, man, Domas is going to have to make them respect him so that the Kings can get back to running that style of offense.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, Golden State doesn't really have a reason to not, get up on him.
Yeah.
They don't. He hasn't be able to hit that shot consistently. I think that's been a huge issue. A lot of it is, while it's scheming on the Warriors' part, they're scheming correctly. There is a part of it on Domas, too, where he needs to really pull himself out of that.
Yeah. So those are some of the lists. Again, we're talking about the home crowd, too, has been absolutely amazing at G1C. You think about missing this for 16 years. It's pretty spectacular. Now, I mean, we're getting into the minutia here of the details of the series and the heartbreak and the joy. But Kings fans, you got to be loving this. I mean, you really have to enjoy this ride. It's painful at times. It's enjoyable. But the fact that you are 2-2 with, if there is 3 more games, 2 of them being in your home building.
Yeah, and you got to, as a fan, it's not just being in the playoffs, it's just the stakes that are already here so early. Then this series to you, and I mean, yesterday especially, have like a conference final vibe to it almost.
It's intense.
It really is.
I've been worn out after each and every one of these games. You go, we're still in the first round, and we still haven't decided. No one's been put on the brink of elimination yet, but that will happen after Game 5. Who will be on the brink of elimination? We talk about the magnitude of this 5th game of the series. We'll do that when we come back on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Monday, back to the start of a new week. We've got a comfortable morning out there to kick it off. As we head through the afternoon, we'll enjoy mainly sunny skies with light westerly winds, highs today in the low 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
A nice warm shower is not so nice if it doesn't drain like it should. Well, let's fix that right now. Get a sewer inspection, including mainline drain cabling and video analysis, just $97. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com. Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Pack Car Wash.
Truck season savings extended at Maida Chevy in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Got a huge selection of new 2022 and 23 half-ton Silverados in stock, ready to go. Find your savings at MaidaChevy.com. Find new roads.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Spring officially here. And with the long, cold, and rainy winter behind us, I'm sure you're counting the days until summer. But don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioner is working efficiently and, most importantly, safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from American Energy Heat and Air. There's nothing worse than your air conditioner going out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today and make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call, 916-520-9990, or schedule your appointment online at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Easy, convenient payment options, same as cash, low monthly payments through financing partners. What do you need? 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T-level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, good morning and happy Monday. I'm Jay Mars. It was a roller coaster Game 4 yesterday in San Francisco between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. They came down to one final shot.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for three. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires, and the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece.
The Warriors won by the final score of 126-125. Despite the loss, Darren Fox continues to be electric in the playoffs. He hit for 38 points yesterday to go along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists in 40 minutes. And some good news for Kings fans was the return of Keegan Murray. After struggling in the first 3 games, Keegan finished with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. It's going to be a very loud Golden One Center. Game 5 happens this Wednesday night at the G1C. Coming up on today's show, our Sacramento Kings insider Frankie Carticelli joins us to help break down all the action that happened in San Francisco over the past few days at 9 a.m. from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And you can get all your Kings playoff coverage online at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
We're going to talk about the magnitude of that huge Game 5 coming up on Wednesday in a moment. Let's get back to the phone lines at 800-920-1140. Jason Ross, Jay Mars, Carmichael Dave. Not feeling well today. Hopefully we'll have him back tomorrow. Let's check in with Bobby. What's up, Bobby? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I was wondering if I noticed something that someone else didn't. And you were talking about DeMoss at the top doing his dribble handoffs and things like that. No one's talked about Kevon Looney being in the key for the entire possession every time the Kings have the balls. have the ball. They haven't called defensive 3 seconds one time.
No, that is true. I'd have to look at that closer.
I don't think they've called it all series, have they, on either team?
No, I don't think so either.
They haven't.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was watching the game, and I was just watching Kevon Looney. He never even tried to leave the key. And one of the things with Domas is if the shots aren't there, the dribble handoffs aren't there, he usually attacks his defender. And if Kevon Looney's above the free throw line, he can't stay in front of Domas.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's close to the restricted area, he completely clogs up the lane and takes away anything close to the rim for Domas.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying. He's got to take those shots. But to your point, I haven't been counting. I mean, I'm sure you haven't looked at that. I'd have to look back at it again to see if he's been in there. But you're right, it hasn't been called.
Yeah, I'd love for the Kings bench to just put a little nugget of that in the official's ear and get a call or two to get him up above the free throw line, because I think that really opens up the Kings offense and one of Domas' strengths.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Bobby. That's a good point. You know, Jay, yeah. I haven't I mean, that one I don't think is called enough in general, so I would guess that he's been in there too long, but I mean, I don't know.
3 seconds is one of those. It's not as egregious as traveling, in my opinion, but it's also one of those they'll let slide.
Yeah.
If it's like 3.5, 4, like they're not going to call it in the playoffs like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to talk about that all the time 20 plus years ago. Shaquille O'Neal spent 3 seconds at the key all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah. And
you can call it every play damn near.
And sometimes, I mean, the official or a couple of officials could have that as a point of emphasis. And that's why when we refer to about how will the game be officiated, it doesn't mean, oh, they're favoring the Kings. Oh, they're favoring the Warriors. It's, when were fouls called? Is Fox in foul trouble? That's going to impact the game. Wow, Curry's got 3 early. That's going to impact the game. Are they letting touch fouls go? How physical can you be? What team is in the penalty sooner? Yesterday, I thought, I mean, each game has been so physical. And yesterday, I think the note was the Kings had an and one, I think, by Trey Lyles, and he missed the free throw. And their next free throw came with about 2 minutes left in the half.
Yeah, no, they did not get to the line yesterday. And that was a big point of emphasis, I think, that, you know, when you're actually breaking down the game outside of just looking at the, oh, this play happened or this play happened. When you look at the box score, is that's something that you would like to see them get to the line a lot more.
Yep.
Especially in the fourth quarter, they were hitting their free throws. Like this is a team that, you know, they've been a little up and down from the line this year, but yeah, you definitely got to go to the basket more. I thought that was an emphasis in game 3 as well, as they should have been getting to the line more.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is also a really good 3-point shooting team, so you have to factor that in as well. And those shots were going down yesterday.
Warriors were great at the line, too. They got a few more. 22 of 24. Kings were 15 of 18. So, I mean, by and large, with how physical it was, I would say that's not a ton. I mean, and I would prefer it to be that way. I know when people are like, you can always find a play or an isolated. Do you see what he did? He totally grabbed him. Yes. But that's, I would rather it be consistently physical than, whoa, first play touch foul like that. We're doing this, or what are we doing here?
I mean, I'm with you on that. Let the guys play, especially in the playoff time. You don't want the referee to be the one to really have control of the game in that sense.
Yeah.
Also, going to your point is you can find plays on both sides 100%. Where it's like, man, someone got it. I mean, Alex Lynn yesterday with a jab damn near hit Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Didn't get called. That's just like, dude, these things are happening on both sides of the floor.
Yeah.
Like Kevon Looney said, this is just how we play down here, man.
Yep. There was a play yesterday that totally reminded me of a play at Golden One Center, but from the other perspective. So the play was Darren Fox was driving on the left side, and he really didn't even get close to the basket. And I think he got bumped, but he did one of those things where he kind of flipped his head back, blow the whistle. Then they show it up on the big screen, and it didn't look like that much. And then the whole ref, you suck.
There was a couple times of that yesterday, I thought.
And I'm like, this is the exact play that happens at Golden One Center. Just flip it, and it's Curry trying to drive by Davion, and he puts it, and it's like, it just is always going to happen.
And there was the
way.
play, and it's just also some of the players, though, too. Like Steph was all getting real, I don't know what the word is, but he was not happy about a call when Monk drove the lane. And Steph clearly fouled him. Like, they're showing the replay, like, dude, it's a foul.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Monk pushed off a little bit, but it's like Steph pushes off all game, and they don't call it. It's fine. But, like, you can't sit there and when you get a little nudge, like, you know, throw a tantrum when it's like, dude, this is a play you use on a regular basis that's never called.
Yeah.
Like, hush.
You got to stay in the moment. And now we got a critical Game 5. The magnitude of Game 5. What's the difference here? Obviously, the series is tied at 2 apiece. We've already had several people say, well, the winner of Game 5 is going to win the series. I don't know. I'm not going to put a blanket statement out on that. They obviously are in better position. They have 2 chances to win one, put the other team on the brink of elimination. But Jay, if we go to the Kings playoff history, these are not good notes here for you. The Kings have been in 4 different series, tied at 2 in a best of 7. They've lost all 4. If we go back to 2006, they ended up losing Game 5 and Game 6 to the Spurs. That was 2-2. In 2004 to the Timberwolves, it was 2-2. That went 7, but the Kings lost Game 7 in Minnesota. Chris Webber had a chance to force that game with an angle 3 in OT. 2003 against Dallas, that was 2-2 without Chris Webber after he tore his knee. The Kings lost that one in 7 in Dallas. And then, of course, the 2002 series was 2-2 with the Lakers. Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, the Kings lost in overtime. So I think all those stats are irrelevant, but that's just a little bit of a look back at the history of the Kings in 2-2s of best of 7.
But from a Game 5 standpoint, correct me if I'm wrong, 2002 Lakers, they won Game 5. That was the Bibby shot.
So they lost 6 and 7.
And then I think in the Mavs series, they lost all of them. And then, because they won Game
Mavs
6.
They lost 5, T-Wolves they lost 5, and Spurs they lost 5 and 6.
I mean, I don't put much emphasis on history of things that happened 20 plus years ago. It's such a different team, different dynamic here. Again, I don't know. It's just the whole idea that whoever wins Game 5 is going to win the series. I tend to lean that way. I mean, the numbers lean that way, of course. But I think one thing we should all take from the series so far, after 4 games, don't try to predict anything anymore.
Yeah.
Don't try. There's no way to predict this thing. It is such a, to me, at this point, I would call the series, Jason, a coin toss.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, and it's been, even if you look at point spreads, predictions in this series, I would bet it this way. Let me put it this way, Jay. If the Kings lose Game 5, more people nationally, maybe locally, I don't even know if that matters, but more people would think the series is over than vice versa. If the Kings were to win Game 5, I think people would say, well, the Warriors will go home and win Game 6, and I can see them winning Game 7.
Yeah, I think that'll definitely be the narrative.
The opposite.
Now,
right?
What happens in a scenario, though? What's the narrative then, since we're just going to have some fun with this? What's the narrative if Kings lose Game 5 but win Game 6?
Exactly, right? Which is where I thought the series might have gone more through 4. I thought each team would have won a road game by now.
Same. I actually thought it was going to be split over 4. Yeah, I thought it was going to be 2-2. But I thought they were going to split both. I did not have each team winning on the home floor. Although, come to think of it, I should have. When you think about it, because the Warriors, again, not a good road team, but Warriors great at home.
Yeah, and the Kings have been a good road team.
Right.
And been okay, like we said, at home. So it's been interesting. It's been fun. It's been a battle. I don't know that I could clearly say one team is better than the other. The Warriors have the one blowout. The Kings have 2 close wins. The Warriors have 1 close win. It makes it fun.
Jason, it's a blowout, but again, it was one of the – I told Chris Watkins this when we were sitting down at that game. I'm like, this is just – as a basketball game, one of just the ugliest games I've watched in a really long time.
Yeah.
Like, it had been years since I've seen, and I should point out, I've seen a lot of ugly basketball, obviously, over the last 16, 17 years. So relatively speaking, it's one of the ugliest games I've watched where you have 2 great teams out there.
Yeah.
Like, the Warriors won the game. Like, this is not to take away from their victory. But I don't look at the final score of that and be like, man, they really just came out there and the Warriors kicked the crap out of the Kings.
Yeah, they shot 40%.
Yeah, it was just a sloppy game. The Warriors were the least bad team in that game.
Yeah, they took 100 shots. 50 were from 3. Man, they won. That's all that matters. The Warriors did win that one. And then, of course, they win yesterday to even the series at 2 apiece. Coming up in about 20 minutes, Frankie Carticelli, our Sactown Sports Kings insider, will be in studio to join us for that. But when we come back, we ask the question, who's hot and who's not?
Me.
Yeah, wow.
I'm both.
And we'll go streaking. He'll do that as well to make him hot or not.
Yeah.
We'll decide. That's next on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy.
Purdy going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
The folks at M&S Auto know that inflation is tough on everybody. If you need an excellent, gently used car or truck, M&S has hundreds of vehicles on the lot on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. M&S customers get great deals and they save thousands. Get a great deal now on super clean 4x4s, including Tacomas, Silverados, and Jeeps, and muscle cars, Challengers, Teslas, Mustangs, and even the occasional McLaren. M&S Auto, msautogroup.com.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040. That's 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
Ace fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
When he drills one to right, way back, and no doubt, and that quickly the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
At the Gonzalez Law Office, we focus on trials and litigation to achieve the best result. For over a decade, Jonathan Gonzalez has conducted more than 60 jury trials to verdict, and since 2016 has only lost 2. We understand how to fight for our clients and make sure our clients get the best results. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call us to handle all your criminal and injury cases. 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187, or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Ooh! It's hot.
Jay Mars, please tell us.
One Darren Fox.
Yes, he is.
With 35 points and counting last night. Darren Fox sitting at 123 has the most points through the first 4 games of postseason in Kings history.
Yeah.
Passing Oscar Robertson.
How about that?
It's pretty good. Pretty good company to keep.
That's amazing company, and hope Darren's got a lot more points to score here over the next couple games.
You and me both. Who's not, though?
Uh-oh, who's not?
Oh, those silly Brooklyn Nets. They have gone fishing. Jason Ross. They are the first team eliminated from the NBA playoffs, losing 4-0 to the Philadelphia 76ers.
I still say it's better to be in the postseason and get swept 4-0 in the first round than not be in it all. And Kings fans, if you don't agree with that, you please tell me you remember the last 16 years.
17, really?
Yeah. I mean,
no, this is great.
It's better to be in the postseason.
Dude, even if the Kings lose this series, it'll be heartbreaking, but boy,
Absolutely.
I'll be happy it happened.
Yeah. And part of it, I don't think they have to learn all these lessons, because I don't think the margin between them and the Warriors is I don't even know if there is a margin. I think they're basically the same team. It's just who's going to find the way to win 2 more games. But I could picture being here on, if the Kings were eliminated, going, well, these are valuable lessons to go through. You have to learn through this. The Warriors' experience maybe helped them pave their way through this. Sure, all those things can be said, but I think they're learning. I think they get it. They know they belong. They have just as much of a chance to advance as the Warriors do. So,
I completely agree.
Yeah. All right, before we get to streaking, because we will do that, let's check in with our guy, AC, on the phone lines. Good morning, AC.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
What's on your mind?
So my wife went to work yesterday, and I recorded the game. And it was such an exciting game that it would be kind of a downer to tell her what happened. So I made her sit with me and watch the whole game over again and didn't tell her what happened.
Oh, really? How did you react? How could you rewatch it and not react?
Oh, that's the funny part. She goes, you don't seem to be reacting much. And I was trying not to let go what happened. It was just kind of funny.
Wow.
But tell me this, you guys. I know you probably discussed it. Why the hell do you get a timeout and you don't freaking drop a play? It's like that everybody is no one's moving around. Darren Fox is isolated. There's no screens. No one's coming to the ball. Why does that happen? Tell me why.
Yeah, well, we'll do our best. And thank you, AC. I think they did that. I mean,
they did run a play.
Yeah, they did run a play. And actually, Barnes did set a screen. The way the play starts is Draymond Green is on Darren Fox. I think the purpose of the screen is to get the switch. And then they got Curry on him. That is a huge advantage for the Kings. Now, I don't think the spacing was great after that. Fox kind of lost his rhythm in the dribble. Now that allowed time for Draymond to double team because the Warriors were not going to let Fox be in a one-on-one situation with Curry. You got another team out there that they had time to scheme. They said, hey, look, they're probably going to set up something for Fox. Do not let him get a one-on-one look. So they get the ball out of his hands. The best look they had there. Now, something AC you may have missed earlier in the show, Jay and I kind of debated. Could have not called a timeout after the missed shot by the Warriors.
Sure.
Maybe Mike Brown is kicking himself. Maybe not. I mean, coaches like to have some control of the game.
You have to imagine Mike Brown kind of was anticipating something already, right?
Yeah. It's like hey, look, if we're going to stop, we're
yeah.
calling a timeout. And he elected to do so. Yeah, the Warriors could set their defense, but the Kings could get the ball in a play that they wanted. There wasn't a ton of time, but there was enough time. I still didn't love the pass in the backcourt because Jay, that just takes up a few seconds. Darren didn't have to sprint, but it takes a little bit of time to get you.
But I figured they were trying to get the ball and they were trying to just get the last shot with the buzzer. They weren't trying to I don't blame them for trying to they didn't want the Warriors to have the ball.
Right.
They did not. So I didn't really, I actually anticipated it going into the backcourt. Just kind of let De'Aaron go to work and see what happens. So they ran a play.
Again, second guessing here and second thought. The only thing I would have switched to is maybe a look earlier because if you did miss, potential tip in. If you're not, yes, the Warriors would have the ball back if you scored, but they didn't have a timeout, so they couldn't advance the ball. I think that's the one time you maybe shoot early against the Warriors because the last thing you want to do is give them one more look to beat you.
No thanks.
All right, Jay, let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking.
We are streaking, and we don't have Carmichael Dave with us here today, but he is going to be
we have San Diego Ledbetter in his place.
Yes, pinch hitting.
Hello.
Yes, try to get a hit for Dave. Here's a recap from last week. Carmichael Dave is at a hitting streak of 1 because on Friday he went with the random Brandon Nimmo, and he got a hit.
Wow, you just call Brandon Nimmo? Call him a random?
Well, it was random for Dave. I did not see Dave picking him.
Picked him out of a hat. You didn't see that part?
Yes. I was at a hitting streak of 3, Jay. It came to an end.
Who'd you pick?
A random. Jesse Winka.
He was a real wanker, wasn't he?
Winker was a wanker. He did not get a hit, so I'm back to 0. Jay, you're still at 2 because on Thursday, your last day you played, you picked Aaron Judge, and he got you a hit.
Yeah, he's good.
So you have the longest hitting streak with 2. Dave's at 1. I'm at 0.
It's not technically a streak till it hits 3, right?
Is that the streak officially?
I'm pretty sure, according to the great Lou Brown, manager of the Cleveland Indians, that
the great.
Yeah, you win 1, you win another. That's 2 in a row.
That's a streak.
You'll win 3. That's called a winning streak.
Yeah.
It has happened before.
All right. Well, let's see if Dave can get to 2 wins. Not officially a streak. Kyle, who are you going with for Dave?
Well, I looked up who the Oakland Athletics were playing today on the
very
spot.
Smart.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah, I was working the game this weekend, and they gave up 17 runs, I believe.
Oh, did they lose?
They did lose that game, yes.
All
just
the games.
Fun fact, I've worked 4 games this year. They've allowed 12, 11, 15, and 17 runs
He's
in
the
those
bad luck
4
guy.
games.
You're the bad luck guy. You're the reason.
It's him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Catch Oakland A's baseball on Sactown Sports.
Just pick someone already.
All right, I got Shohei Ohtani.
That's a
Dave pick.
Dave. Yeah, that's
Perfect.
a Dave. Dave probably actually would have picked Shohei.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's a good one. And Dave will be happy with that selection when he's back. He's like,
Mhm.
I would. Oh yeah, I'll take Shohei Ohtani. That's good. I am going to go with. This is a random. I'm going to the Diamondbacks. I haven't selected anyone from Arizona.
D-back Jason Ross.
And I'm taking Corbin Carroll, the left fielder.
Love Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, he's going to get me a hit. I need to get back in the hit column. Jay, to extend it to a streak.
So
what do you got?
I'm looking to extend to a streak. So is this player today looking to get his 3rd game in a row at the hit. Give me Marcus Semien of the Texas Rangers.
There you go, former Oakland A.
You just want to rub that in there for A's fans too?
Marcus Semien.
The half of them that are listening?
I think we're still at. I made it to 6. Can we get past? That's our benchmark. Will we get past 6 this year?
I'll get past 6.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to 3.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna lay mine out by the week.
Oh,
Start looking
wow.
at pitching matchups a little more
Okay.
deeper. That's why I picked Semien today.
Okay. See if he can get to 3.
He will. No, not seeing. He will get to 3.
All right.
See my boy Muncy over the weekend, by the way.
What's he doing? Striking out or homering? Or both?
He's hitting all the homers again.
All of the homers.
All of the homers. Him and Sacramento State's James Outman as well.
Yes.
Just swinging the shillelagh.
What? I haven't looked at the standings lately. I saw the other day the Dodgers.
The A's are in last.
Well, I know that. What are your boys in blue? Oh, they're back over.
They're
500.
back over 500 now. They had a nice little series with the Cubbies. That Friday game though, man, getting there. You saw there was a perfect going into the inning.
Yes. Yeah.
He broke it up with a broken bat single. Shout out Jan Gomes for jumping on a pitcher's back to break up his own pitcher's game. And it's like, dude, I've never seen a perfect game in that way.
Yeah. That was crazy. How about the best record in the National League right now? The Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates have won 7 in a row.
Gritzburg is what they're calling it. Gritzburg.
You've got them leading the division. Tampa's still off to that incredible start. They're 19-3. Man.
Hey, they're pretty good.
Yeah. What's going on?
Is their home run streak still going? Speaking of streaking.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know it was up. Well, I think it is. It was up to 2 days ago. You also have what's going on with the NL West? Diamondbacks and Dodgers tied at 12 and 11. Padres got Tatis back, finally homered the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the
12.
Padres would start a little hotter.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers are kind of doing what I thought they would do. I didn't think, the Dodgers, so much talent went away from them this year just because they're obviously gearing up to sign Shohei next year.
Yeah.
But they're competing. The Dodgers got guys that can play. I expect them to be a playoff team. I don't expect them to win the division, though.
Yeah.
And then the Giants. They
had
a good weekend, though.
They did. Well, they took the last 2 of the series, so they split the 4-gamer.
That's why I said weekend. I didn't mention Thursday or Friday.
I know they're not 500, but I feel like the ceiling is 500. I feel like
that's
everything.
The ceiling?
Yeah.
I mean, I have felt like this. If everything goes right, which it won't, I think the ceiling was competing for that last playoff spot, but I don't
should
think
be
that's
high 80s wins. I
don't think that'll be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't see them going 500.
Right.
And I don't see Farhan Zaidi as the general manager of that team next year.
Is this the last run at it?
I mean, he's been there, 4 seasons?
Yeah.
Outside of the random 2021 season, it's been disappointing. Now, granted, ownership's been terrible too.
Right.
But, they're the constant bridesmaid when it comes to signing big-time free agents. They've been doing this thing where they just kind of patch together a lineup, it seems like, every year of guys that are above average. That's it. They got a bunch of guys that are either average or above average. They don't have anyone great in the lineup at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are their building blocks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone was waiting for the Joey Bart thing, but that, I'm not a Giants fan, but if I were, I'm kind of moving on from that whole scenario of him being the next Buster Posey. I don't think that's ever going to be a thing.
Saturday, I walked. We were walking around downtown, down near the park, near Oracle Park, and certainly near Chase Center. And there's a part where you're down by the water by Chase Center, and if you're walking, you could see kind of the upper parts of the outfield. And I went, "Oh man, where's everybody for the Giant?" The Giants still had a crowd there, but not full like it used to be.
It's not going to, though.
I know it was a beautiful day. It was the Mets, and a lot of people we were walking around. So I saw a lot of Mets fans. I'm like, man.
gross. I'm standing in front of Giants fans. They're still one of the top 10 attendances in baseball, though.
Yeah, I guess so. And yesterday,
you just kind of poo-pooed that.
Well, it was nowhere near full. And
no.
I just
the playoffs are on. People, I think, would rather even go to the bar and probably watch the Warriors-Kings than go to
That's true.
Late April Giants-Mets game, and the Giants stink.
Yeah. Well, we've got one more hour to go. When we come back, we got our guy, Frankie Carticelli, in studio. Help us break down what we've seen so far through the first 4 games. Look ahead to Game 5 as well. Frankie joins us next.
It's Cattles and Rami.
There were a few rows in front of us that were standing throughout the whole game, which I get, man. It's a playoff game, first time in 16 years. You're trying to go 2-0. I'm not going to go down 7 rows and be like, hey, can you all sit down for me? Kind of a big deal.
There was one guy that, he could tell that his friends were standing more than he was, and he could tell that it was affecting. Yeah.
That was the guy who said that he hated me.
Yeah, and he knew me off top, and I missed that. He's like, you're Simone. And I was like, I don't know who you are, but nice to meet you.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
I'm Scott Trout, attorney and CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. We help men deal with the life changes triggered by divorce, such as child custody and property division, among many others. But life changes also occur after divorce. These changes can make parts of your existing court order irrelevant or harder to follow. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell. We're a partner men can count on.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Cordell.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
California, the birthplace of all things cool. Beautiful people, perfect beaches, and cruising with the top down on Route 66. It does get quite hot here, though, so now that spring has sprung, Ace Plumbing Heating and Air is offering a full air conditioning system inspection and tune-up for just $66. Call 455-4548 and just say Route 66 to get your kicks and stay cool. Ace Plumbing Heating and Air, 455-4548 or at aceplumbing.com.
Hey, Scott, you look great.
Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure at XL Medicine. It's called the artist procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. XL Medicine could probably help you too, buddy.
Using the artist procedure, Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall at XL Medicine about the artist procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation. Or on the web at xlmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the artist procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Capital Casino back with indoor gaming and dining located inside at 411 North 16th Street, downtown Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Your home for the biggest matchups in the NFL. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, good morning and happy Monday. I'm Jay Mars. It was a roller coaster game 4 yesterday in San Francisco between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. They came down to one final shot.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for three. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires, and the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece.
The Warriors won by the final score of 126-125. Despite the loss, Darren Fox continues to be electric in the playoffs. He hit for 38 points yesterday to go along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists in 40 minutes. And some good news for Kings fans was the return of Keegan Murray. After struggling in the first 3 games, Keegan finished with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. It's going to be a very loud Golden One Center. Game 5 happens this Wednesday night at the G1C. And you can get all your Kings playoff coverage online at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, final hour of the show. No Carmichael Dave today. He is under the weather. Hopefully we have him back tomorrow. Jason Ross, Jay Mars, and look who's here in studio. Frankie.
Those pinchable cheeks.
Frankie Carticelli.
Good morning, fellas. Good morning.
With the Bash Brothers shirt of Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton.
One of them great
one
player.
One of them's healthy, one of them's not.
One is a great, other's a great player too, but does not stay on the field.
I was telling Frankie during the break, have the Yankees tried load managing Giancarlo Stanton?
Yeah, I think Giancarlo Stanton's doing that himself.
Don't let him play him back-to-backs.
Yeah, J. Mars saying let's limit Giancarlo in back-to-backs. That'd be revolutionizing.
I think that's
baseball.
the answer.
Yes.
Screw a pitch clock.
Honestly, not a bad idea. If I could take a healthy Stanton every other day, I would.
Yeah, because he goes on the DL about 3 times a year.
And he'll be out right now for, I think, 7-8 weeks. So
is that long?
It's a bad hammy strain. Year's over. Call it in.
Okay. Where's the market correction?
You guys got to fix him better or something.
I don't know. It's sad. It's actually sad.
It's that Yankees training staff, I tell you.
Giancarlo Stanton would have 500, 600 home runs if he was a healthy player for his whole career.
Honestly, he mashes the ball when he plays.
And it's just sad because he's missing another quarter of a season. So
he is. Well, we got some Kings to cover, and I could tell you this: Frankie loves thumbs up. So if you're on YouTube right now, give Frankie a thumbs up. It's right there at the bottom of the screen.
That'd be nice.
We're having a good day out there. A lot of you are watching. Just hit that thumbs up button. Frankie, as far as games go, is a thumbs up. It was a great game. There's things that we could pick apart yesterday. Your take though, we've seen 4. Just kind of a general overview. 2-2. Nothing's been decided. Just kind of an overall thought of what maybe you thought the series would go and how it's gone to this point.
It's funny. I think it's exactly what we expected. I think these are 2 very good and, in my opinion, evenly matched teams. I mean, their flaws, even the Warriors being a really, really good home team versus being a bad road team, that's held up. That's legit. The Kings have done, in my opinion, a very good job of protecting their home court and playing well on the road. We know they've been playing well on the road this season. Last night was one I would have liked to have. I think we all were hoping that Barnes shot would go in for a lot of reasons too. Mostly, I think the Barnes Warriors, that storyline, cool. You have a chance to change that. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll have some big moments in this series. We still have 2 more games to go at least. So, but it's just been a lot of fun. A big takeaway is it's been a lot of fun. There isn't a clear leader in this series. Like I think I was talking with Kyle Madsen out in the tank out there about how we're feeling, and we both agreed. I don't really know. Like,
who's better? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think I can't sit here and say, oh, the Kings have completely outplayed the Warriors, and I don't think Warriors fans can say the same, and I don't think they are. But I think we're seeing a masterclass of NBA just guard performances here in the playoffs with Steph Curry and Darren Fox. And Darren Fox is making his name known in NBA circles, and fans are taking note, and it's big for him. And I'm excited to see what the next 2 games look like.
One thing that hasn't happened yet is Sabonis. And I'll go credit to the Warriors more so than blame on Sabonis per se. But Why do you think it's been difficult for him to not look like, the Sabonis that's going to be an all-NBA guy, that's been an all-star, that's been, I think when the MVP comes out, he'll probably end up 5th. He hasn't been that guy yet.
No, the Warriors, I think we've really heard a lot. I mean, especially on social media, the Kevon Looney aspect of what makes the Golden State Warriors great. And it's something the Warriors have been good at over the previous years of taking big men out of the game. But we're seeing right now with Sabonis, their physicality, I think, is getting to them. There's even a play last night where Sabonis and Klay Thompson had a moment in the post. And I think the physicality from the Warriors has really bothered him. And last game, I know there's been officiating. That's been a storyline in the series. Sabonis didn't shoot a free throw last game. He didn't get any calls. So I think what we're seeing right now is him being bothered by that physicality, and the ball movement hasn't been there either. I think over the first 3 games, he had 10 assists and 13 turnovers. That's not who he is. Domantas Sabonis, like you said, triple-double guy.
Yeah.
And the turnovers usually, he's had a couple bad games here and there, but usually he has them in check. But last night he finally got to open up that avenue of his game. But they're sealing off the paint. He is not getting to the rim. And right now the Kings are playing well with Darren Fox, doing what he does best. I mean, he's averaging 30 points per game in the series. He's been arguably one of the better players or best players in the playoffs thus far. They need Domantas Sabonis to kind of switch into that gear if they really want a chance of winning this series. And we haven't seen it yet. Maybe that's something that's exciting for some, because maybe he will tap back into that. But it's something, in my opinion, that needs to happen if they're going to win the series.
Frankie, they're really sliding off of him too when he gets the ball in the high post and just kind of daring him to shoot. And I've been a little surprised through 4 games how hesitant he just seems to shoot the ball, because it just seems like it's in his head. Should I shoot or should I not? If he can get that jumper going, and I say jumper, very loosely, doesn't get off the ground very high, but if he can start consistently knocking down that outside shot and the Warriors have to play up on him, how much does that change the dynamic on offense?
Well, it changes a lot. I mean, right now, and he said he practices that shot a lot, and he takes pride in the practice he puts in. And if you can start knocking down those mid-range jumpers, you have to bring some people out of the paint, and that can free up some other things. I mean, one thing that I'm looking at Kevin Huerter, who has been very good moving without the basketball and scoring in and around the paint. That's a very underrated part of his game, in my opinion, is he can score around the paint. And if you can bring out Looney or bring Draymond Green out of the paint, you can get those backdoor cuts and find a little more room to work with there on that end of things. But knocking down that jumper would be great. I just really think I'm looking at the fouls. I'm looking at the fact I think Warrior fans right now really think the series was called a certain way the first couple of games. And and maybe there were some calls. I think both teams have gotten some fair shots and some fair calls. But last game, I think we've been talking about it all year, especially, but Sabonis got beat up last game. He's getting beat up, and seeing how much contact he takes is incredible. But I'm looking to see him draw more fouls and see what game 5 looks like. I think there's a thought process that maybe at home you get more benefit of the whistle. We're going to see if that's real, but he's down there. He's putting work in, maybe not getting some whistles, but also you have to credit Golden State's defense to keeping him in check.
As you said that, I'd forgotten. I mean, game 1, Sabonis went to the line 4 times. Monk went 14.
That's not happening again.
Yeah. Game 2, let's see about Sabonis. There's 12. So, and that's at home. And I think there's more pressure to get those calls. Game 3, you go where the Kings were just bad. 2 free throws and none yesterday. So
2 over the last 2 games.
In Chase Center, Domantas Sabonis, who, again, you could say he's it's physical. He's had 2 free throws.
That can't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're seeing all the contact that's happening down there, it's an offensive foul or it's a personal foul. I mean, it's one or the other. He's taking contact.
Jay and I were debating the final play. Again, you can look at this 1,000 different ways. Did they do it right? Did they do it? No, look, they got a great shot. They missed it. Just your overall, let's start from the stop they got. So they elected to call timeout, but you could have not. But just the final sequence. So your take on that.
Yeah, I mean, off the rebound that miss, which, again, a good stop. I feel good about the Kings in situations like that where they need to pick up one stop. I feel like they are very good in those situations, and they got it. They didn't have numbers. I think Golden State did a good job of getting back court, and they had, I think it was a 2-on-3. So the timeout, I get it. I think there's no better situation that I feel comfortable in than the Kings being tied or down by 1 possession with the ball in Darren Fox's hands. And they got that. They had a chance through everything, through the Steph Curry, that wild technical, which that was catastrophic, almost catastrophic for them, for the Warriors. I feel good about that possession, and give Steph Curry some credit. Poke the ball free from Fox, who Fox had been, busting his ass all night. I'm sure he was a little worn down there too.
Doris was pointing that out on the broadcast too. It's like, okay, now it's time to play on both ends of the floor for Darren Fox. How's that going to affect him, down the stretch?
He was doing everything. And when the ball got poked free, that completely took that away. Draymond slides up, the double happens. But all that being said, Harrison Barnes, that's an open look I feel comfortable in. And I felt good. When the ball found Barnes, he's wide open.
Yeah.
And I really hope there's another chance for him to have that, bring it back. Yeah, bring back everything against the Warriors. He brought it up in postgame too, 2016. All of the fan talk and all that people see on social media about 2016 and why he left the Warriors. He had a chance to change that narrative, but just didn't go in. It's a shot that just didn't go in.
He's made 2 game winners before his Kings tenure, recently. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. I wasn't mad at the shot selection at all. The one other good thing, you take away from the loss is the resurgence of Keegan Murray. And, I found it interesting after game 3, he talked about, I didn't even think I was playing bad in this game. I just got in foul trouble. Do you think he's finally, and I've pointed this out to Jason, everyone, you're hearing all the talk, the playoffs are getting to him. I'm like, Keegan's had several moments this year where he'll go 2 or 3 games where he's just kind of not there and then just bust out. And I feel like this is more so looking like what we saw in the regular season with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's been streaky for sure at some times, and the shots he was making yesterday were not spot up set 3-pointers. He was creating off the dribble. He was coming off of dribble handoffs, and when those shots are going down, it's a very good sign. And you have to hope you can carry and build off of that. And Keegan is someone who can, like we talked about, can get very streaky and get hot for long stretches of time. If he's feeling it right now, I think he can continue to do so. I'm looking at Kevin Huerter though. If the Kings can get Keegan and Kevin going in unison, that can change the series. I mean, if you have everyone working from the perimeter, with other guys like Barnes and Fox chipping in, but you need those two. You need Huerter and Murray together, both knocking down threes.
Yeah, we had a text during our last segment. What's wrong with Huerter? I said, well, there's a couple things happening. One, I mean, he has missed open shots. There's no denying that. Also, Coach Brown's not waiting. If Keegan's off, he's playing Malik Monk. If someone else is not on their game, he's going to play Davion more.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of caught up in minutes in kind of the numbers of the series, but he still could have a big game here, and he's got to be ready for that.
Yeah, 2 more games to go. I mean, we have at least 2 more games to go.
Yes, and we're going to kind of preview what to expect for Game 5 as Frankie's in studio with us. We'll do that when we come back here on Sactown Sports.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Hand off McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feels super, baby! The 5-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
on your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Spring officially here. And with the long, cold, and rainy winter behind us, I'm sure you're counting the days until summer. But don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioner is working efficiently and, most importantly, safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from American Energy Heat and Air. There's nothing worse than your air conditioner going out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today and make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call, 916-520-9990, or schedule your appointment online at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Easy, convenient payment options, same as cash, low monthly payments through financing partners. What do you need? 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Well, we'll continue to debate the way Game 4 went. Woulda, shoulda, coulda for the Sacramento Kings. The reality is they do have to move on and go on to Game 5, and that's coming up on Wednesday. Frankie Carticelli, our Sactown Sports insider, in studio with us for a second segment. Frankie, moving on isn't always easy, but that's the reality. It doesn't matter. Game 3 wasn't very much of a game for the Kings, but they moved on pretty well, and I thought they were engaged in the game, had leads, trailed. Game 4 was great. It just didn't have the outcome that the Kings wanted. I don't know how many more tweaks and adjustments are to be made as we get ready for Game 5. Maybe it's, hey, this is what we do if you're speaking from the Kings or from the Warriors, and we're just going to try to do it better than you.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what it is at this point. I don't know what other tricks the Kings and Warriors. I mean, we talked about off the air just now the lineup changes. How
many they've had.
Yeah, Golden State has been tweaking the lineups, and how Mike Brown is someone who doesn't really care about the starting lineup as much. He really doesn't have. There's not much weight to that. He cares about who closes, and I think Davion Mitchell right now is somebody that I'm looking at as a true factor in this series on both ends of the floor too. I mean, 5 of 8 from the field last night, 12 points, played great defense. He's been doing a very good job, in my opinion, of guarding Stephen Curry and kind of tiring him out. And Steph Curry did slow down the final stretch. Davion Mitchell I think he's been a huge part of the series. I
want to ask both of you guys this, Frankie and Jay. I threw this out there, maybe kind of just nonchalant. Maybe it was in a break of our post game yesterday, I've heard other teams do this at some point. Now, Steph is having success with Davion being good. Is there any thought to, I don't know, maybe having Steph get a number? And by a number, I mean like 50.
Yeah.
55.
Just shut everyone else down?
Because, right, I mean, if he's getting 30 plus and Clay's in the 20, they had, 3 guys over 20. Like, that's kind of the Kings' MO. Like, when Fox and Sabonis are awesome and there's a third player, they're really tough to beat. I don't know. It just feels like if they're getting that many guys, and yes, the Kings still could have won, it just feels like they're getting too many guys kind of getting cooking. So let Steph go crazy, and not that just go, but any thought on that, or is it just silly?
I'm not going to say it's downright silly. I have to look at it again from everything. I think these guys get cooking no matter what. You know, if you're going to let Steph go for 50, I still think they're going to be in a good spot to win, because I don't think Steph going for 50 equates for Clay going for 12. I don't think it equates for Poole going for 9. You know what I mean? Like, 20, I still think they're going to go for 20 plus still even, so it actually could backfire. I told you, and I've been saying this, I think the Kings have played the best defense that this particular club has played in all season, number one. And number two, this is just more of a battle of two really great offenses. I don't think these are two offenses that you're just going to hold under 100 by playing great defense. If you're holding these teams under 100 or hell, even under 110, it's because they're not showing up on offense.
Yeah, I think what we're getting is what we're getting. I think gambling and letting Curry get what he wants is a dangerous game.
Yeah.
But I'm at the point now where I don't expect Mike Brown to make a change to the starting lineup.
I'm with you.
I just don't think that's going to happen.
He'll just pull someone quickly. If Keegan's off, if Herter's off, he's going to play Monk or Mitchell.
But I'm also of the thought process that I'd like Davion to be on the floor every time Steph is, as much as possible.
Yeah.
I really think that's important.
Yeah, and the other thing, again, another back to what people say, but I think it's kind of played out to be true. I think the Warriors role players were pretty good at home. They weren't as good here. And the Kings role players actually were good in Game 4. They were really good in 1 and 2. So maybe just as simple as being home, the energy, it doesn't guarantee you a win, but the Kings looked pretty good in the first 2 games at home.
I think we're seeing a true home court advantage so far in this series. And Game 5, you have to hope for the Kings that it holds up again. I think it's going to be crazy. I mean, it's the biggest game in the history of that building.
For sure.
Maybe one of the biggest. I mean, obviously Kings playoff games. I mean, again, it's not saying much for 17 years, no playoffs, but it's a huge game. And I think the crowd has been a very important aspect of each of these teams' 2 wins. And I'll give credit to Chase Center too. I mean, Chase Center, they did have a home court advantage.
Yeah, it's different than Golden One, but I mean, they got loud in game, like as it was going on. I felt like they were there when they needed them.
That's business for them, though. I mean, they've been in the playoffs the past 7-8 years, and they've won finals. People aren't in their seats until the game's about to tip off.
Right.
I mean, versus at Golden One Center, fans are in the seats 40 minutes before tip off, giving standing ovations when players come out to warm up. It's very different. I expect a similar atmosphere. And again, Chris Watkins and I were talking about, I feel like it's been a long time since the Kings have played at home. It's been, I think, a week, maybe a little over a week.
It'll be 8 days.
They stretched these first rounds out, man. And I get it. You know, the NBA is getting their money's worth with their TV contracts.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Yes. They want a game every night. When you've got 8 series, you got to spread them out. And so the next round, it almost becomes every other day.
I prefer that.
Yeah.
But again,
we all do.
But I think you and I were just talking about that.
That might have helped the Kings if it was every other day versus the Warriors.
Because the Warriors, again, they're all mid-30s.
Yep.
I mean, they're not the Kings who are, the young whippersnappers, the 20-somethings. I think that it could benefit them because the Warriors look gassed late in the game. They've looked gassed the past couple of, the ones at Golden One Center for sure, they look gassed. And the Kings, they like to run. So if you don't have those downtime, those rest days, I think you benefit.
And Jason brought this up earlier, starting after Wednesday's game, you don't have these gaps anymore. It's every other day. It's Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So, I mean, I mean, not to state the obvious, the Kings need to get game 5. I don't think we have to dive too deep into why on
Hot
that
take,
one.
very hot.
But I feel like, you come out there, that really favors you going back to Chase, just turnarounding on Friday night, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's, again, why it would have been so great to get last night, or yesterday. But, yeah, if you win game 5, I'd feel a lot better about the Kings win this series, which, again, it's not really a crazy take. But I think we're about to learn who this team really is. I mean, this team has been good all year long. They have handled adversity. They have limited these losing streaks. I think they've only had 2 or 3 game losing streaks longer than 3 games, 3 games or more. They got to stop the streak before it hits 3.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to do it at home. I feel confident as ever, but the Kings playing at home, like the Kings do too. But they need to prove that they are up for the challenge and that they're actually a very good playoff contender.
You were in there yesterday with post game. There's a podium situation in the locker room. You kind of saw both of that. I felt like that was the tone. I watched it and heard it more than was in it, like you were. Was frustration that they didn't get the win, disappointment, let's say, but also optimism at the way they played. And then look, we're going home. Like, was that kind of it almost kind of went like they went through their grief, but then they're moving on and ready for the next task. What was your read of their vibe?
Yeah, nobody seemed down. Nobody seemed upset or I mean, Keegan Murray, you can't really tell. I mean, he keeps the same demeanor, but HB seems super upbeat even after the shot. I mean, he's making jokes about 2016. He's clearly in a good mind space. I just think the thought process is it's almost like we're back to game 1. I mean, it's best 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is I think a lot of us expected this too. I mean, I don't think the Kings would sit there and say they expected a 6-7 game series, but from the outside, I don't think anyone was expecting a sweep or a gentleman's sweep or what have you. I think that this was expected, a 6-7 game hard fought series. This team's ready to go. They're ready for game 6.
We all expect
5.
Yeah, game 5.
That too.
Well, they might be ready for game 6. We don't know.
They're gonna have to be. They're gonna have to be.
We've talked all about how De'Aaron's made for the playoffs. Are you surprised of how good he's been?
I really don't think so. I mean, I think scoring 38 twice in the first round is incredible. That, to me, I did not sit here and expect that to happen, but I never expected a Darren Fox him to fade away and average 18 on 40% shooting or anything. I expected him to rise for the occasion because he's been a big-time player as long as Darren Fox has been on the national spotlight. Even going back to the Kentucky days, he's performed well in these big games. And, I hope we see a lot more of him. I hope there's not just 2 more games of Darren Fox. I hope we see a lot more. But, again, it's like I think I was talking about it yesterday with James Ham and Brendan Nunez about how it's like the Donovan Mitchell aspect. When Donovan Mitchell was shining in the playoffs a couple of years ago and people were starting to realize, oh, wow, Donovan Mitchell was a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the national – the media perspective of De'Aaron Fox and who he is starting to become known. De'Aaron Fox is a very good player, and he's going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
He's going to be a superstar.
I love that Draymond tries to play the role of the intimidator, the enforcer, the bully, and De'Aaron was not having that yesterday.
No, but also that play, I mean, the whole thing started from Draymond telling Keegan Murray to get off the floor.
Yeah.
You're going to go with Keegan Murray?
Right.
I'm assuming one of the nicest players or players who doesn't say anything in the NBA.
Hi, Draymond.
Okay.
My head hurts.
It was like a big brother standing up for a little brother thing.
Yeah, it was.
I think Matt George had a nice video of it too. You can see when he says it, even Domantas Sabonis looked like kind of at him when his eyes got big, like, what? And that's where Fox stepped in. But you'll have to see that. You'll have to see Kings stepping up for their little bro and Keegan. But it's going to be a fun game 5.
Yes. This is fun. I mean, it's yesterday hurt. There's no way around it, but this is fun. I'm glad we're in this spot, especially where the Kings have been in the past, and Wednesday's going to be amazing.
It's going to be electric, as always, and Kings fans, show up in numbers.
You going to be there?
I think I'll be there.
Yeah. No practice today, right? They took today off. I mean, they'll have their workouts.
They'll probably do a film day. Film day
or whatever.
Film today, and then tomorrow practice, and then Wednesday, roll it out. Yep, roll it out.
On. Well, make sure you check out all of Frankie's work on Sactown Sports. Frankie, great to have you in here, and talk to you again next week.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on. All rise.
All rise. That's right. That's Frankie Carticelli. We are back with more. When we come back, we'll tell you what to watch for tonight. Also, we've got a pair of pit passes to Country in the Park. We'll tell you how you can win that when we come back next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Monday, back to the start of a new week. We've got a comfortable morning out there to kick it off. As we head through the afternoon, we'll enjoy mainly sunny skies with light westerly winds, highs today in the low 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, capital, and everything in between. Learn about all the benefits of being a business banking member at valleystrong.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Near the banks of the Sacramento River, Perry Dye of the famous Dye family of golf architects designed Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course as Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Dye's design and mixture of holes assures players of a fun-filled day with friends. Bartley Kavanaugh's moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas make for an affordable and fun round of golf. After golf, relax on the outdoor veranda with a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for free personalized arch support, fitting, and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Pack Car Wash.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current. Roseville Electric provides you with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. Whether you're looking to go electric, reduce your carbon footprint, or simply save on your monthly energy bill, Roseville Electric has a solution for you. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Capital Casino back with indoor gaming and dining located inside at 411 North 16th Street, downtown Sacramento.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, good morning and happy Monday. I'm Jay Mars. It was a roller coaster game 4 yesterday in San Francisco between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. They came down to one final shot.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for three. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires, and the Warriors have tied the playoff series at 2 games apiece.
The Warriors won by the final score of 126-125. Despite the loss, Darren Fox continues to be electric in the playoffs. He hit for 38 points yesterday to go along with 9 rebounds and 5 assists in 40 minutes. And some good news for Kings fans was the return of Keegan Murray. After struggling in the first 3 games, Keegan finished with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. It's going to be a very loud Golden One Center. Game 5 happens this Wednesday night at the G1C. And you can get all your Kings playoff coverage online at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Oh, can we hear that Light the Beam chant again? Wednesday. If you think about the 2 wins of this series, Jay, game 1, I mean, Curry missed the 3 for the tie that would have forced overtime. There was really no, like, it just kind of, the game ended, celebration, then there was, okay.
There was no premature beaming.
No, and then game 2 had the Draymond situation. The Warriors still tied it last 6 minutes. The Kings got a lead and then got the separation and about maybe 30 to 40 seconds left, felt comfortable enough to really get the Light the Beam chant going.
Yeah.
And we need to hear that at least one more time, maybe 2 if need be.
Let's go with 1.
1 first.
And then let's hear the 1 inside the Chase Center. That's my ultimate dream.
I will say we ran into a couple of Kings fans yesterday coming up for the radio broadcast in kind of the concourse level, and ran into our guy that called that bet. I can't remember how much he said, but it was a good amount on the Kings.
40 win guy.
No, to win the Pacific Division.
Oh, that guy.
And he won like $35,000.
Did he buy you a hot dog with his winnings?
No, we just took a picture.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fun. But there was a group of them, and I said, all right, guys, I hope by the end of the day we hear you say, Light the Beam. We could, you'll be the people we'll be talking about on the radio that there's a handful of Kings fans.
Yes, you, sir. We're going to make you famous tomorrow morning if they win.
Yeah, and then they did it just on the concourse. Just started yelling it out. I'm like, okay, well, we're in the mood. We're festive. And we're also in the mood to help you guys out there. Right now, all you have to do is call 1-800-920-1140. We will take caller number 5 because on Friday, May 5th, you will have the chance to go to Coors Light Frost Row Pit Passes to Country in the Park, brought to you by KNCI. Enjoy Friday Pit Passes for KNCI's Jiffy Lube Country in the Park at the Cal Expo Grandstands. Pit Passes includes admission to Country in the Park and access to come and go as you please from the exclusive Coors Light Frost Row Pit, which is located immediately in front of the stage. You can enjoy live performances from Lady A, Brett Eldridge, Joe Nichols, and more. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. Again, caller number 5 right now. That's really cool. Pit passes there for the show on Friday. So the waiting game, that's the hard part too, Jay. I think we've talked about this, about nerves for the series and being anxious. That's how I felt before game 1 and really before every game. It's the hurry up and wait. It's finding out, putting your emotions together, and then you get into the game and it's like, all right, now we're doing into, schemes and game plans and how things are going. And now we have to wait till Wednesday to figure out how this series will go. And really that pivotal game 5 that we're talking about, as Kyle's answering the phone in there. So you've jumped in.
I've jumped in this studio. We're a little undermanned this morning without Dave. So, kind of got to hop and stuff. Yeah.
It's like I wanted to be here, but you also you got to enjoy all the elements of this series.
You got to enjoy all the elements for sure, but I hate the in-between day elements. I don't listen. We'll get audio out of practice from Coach Brown and Coach Kerr. We'll talk to the players on both sides. You know what they're all going to tell you, Jason? It's a big game.
Yes.
They're doing things well. We're doing things well. There's some stuff we want to adjust. There's some stuff they're forcing us to adjust to. And I don't mean to, crap all over the media sessions, but I mean,
That's what they are.
That's what they are. It's just, man, we want to win. And this is what we want to do. It's great.
Really? They want to win?
They want to win.
Yes.
That's what I've gotten out of every media session so far.
Yeah, and that's the way it's played out. And then, there's been a few tweaks. Really, I think more of the tweaks have been coming from the Warrior side of things. And the Draymond one, what do you think they will do with him as far as he came off the bench? He said it was his idea. Whether or not it was, I'll go for his word there. What do you think they do with his approach for game 5?
I think they stick with that approach.
Off the bench?
Off the bench. And I also think, though, he will still play majority of the minutes regardless. You and Frankie had brought it up in the last segment about the reserves, specifically for Golden State. Jordan Poole did not play well in 2 games in Sacramento. Even before hurting the ankle, he did not play well. So I think they'll go with him in the starting lineup, and I think there will be a quick leash there, though. If Jordan Poole comes out and is not playing well, I think you'll see Draymond in. And don't forget, though, he did start the second half.
That's the thing. That's why I wondered, because part of it was the Kings had their highest scoring output in a half of the series. And 2, they didn't get any offensive rebounds. And I think the Warriors got 8 in the second half. That's been kind of a pivot point to the series. So because they started him in the second half, makes me wonder if they'll start Draymond again.
Yeah, again, I think maybe they'll go with the whole Jordan Poole thing, but I think there would be a quick leash, and I think he would start the second half again. I don't know. at the end of the day, I don't like to say that it doesn't matter, but I don't think the Kings are concerned about it one way or the other, right? You're going to see the lineups with or without him. It goes back to he's going to play majority of the minutes regardless, whether it's in the first 5 or the second 5. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Let's hear a little bit from Draymond addressing that TV postgame yesterday.
Next one, you do it and win again. So I don't know what it'll be. We haven't gotten that far. We're going to, rest up tomorrow, get ready to go again for the next game, and we'll talk about the game plan. But I'm not sure what it'll be. But if it's that, great. And I'll be ready to go when my numbers go.
You're right. Steve Kerr said it was a collaboration. Maybe you two saw the same things. When you come off the bench, how does that impact Kevon Looney? How does that impact Jordan Poole? Just what's the overall impact of some of these adjustments?
Well, I think, obviously it changes the minutes and the rotations. I think, when you break it down and look at the minutes, everybody kind of played the same amount of minutes they normally played, which was huge, but it's different lineups, and so sometimes lineups can be the key to winning playoff series. And, I think how it affects both of them is it puts them back in the same position they were in to help us win game 3, and that's what's most important.
And finally, with minutes, Steph played 43 in this one. What is he leaving on the court for you guys?
Everything. You have to leave it all on the floor throughout these series and these games, and it's our leader. And, when he leaves it all on the floor like that, everybody else got to fall in line.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Steph's been amazing. He has. Draymond, I think they haven't decided what they're going to do. I could get them going either way. But they need more guys to play well here. And I think one of the things when they play bigger with Draymond and Looney, there's some advantages getting offensive rebounds. They got a second body on Sabonis. But I feel like there's 2 offensive players you kind of don't have to guard if you're the Kings. Where if they go smaller and me personally, I think they're like they kind of lost DiVincenzo yesterday. I think he's been so good for them. That's the kind of the wrinkle the Warriors are in. It's like they're going to play Clay, Steph, and Wiggins. But when you get maybe Draymond and DiVincenzo or Looney and DiVincenzo, I think that lineup's pretty much killer.
Yeah, outside of the offensive rebounds, I think having basically 4 guys on offense, and that was kind of the emphasis in game 3, right?
Yeah, and all can Steph's probably the worst defender, but, when you put
the
Poole
worst
out there, that's where they're a little bit more vulnerable.
Yeah, and that was it. And I think they traded buckets for defense in that game 3, and that was kind of the reason why they went with Poole in the lineup. And I think that's why they did it again in game 4, because I still maintain this. I don't think either team is good enough defensively that they're going to stop the other one. You know what I mean? So at this point, I think if you're the Warriors or the Kings, you're putting out your best offensive lineup, but also hoping that you can play good defense. Like you cannot put together a quote unquote defensive lineup out there for either of these teams because they're just too good on offense.
Yeah,
and they don't have
and
they don't have enough personnel on both sides that are going to stop the other offense for any stretch of the game.
Yeah, totally agree on that. A couple things for you guys to check out tonight when you're waiting on the Kings' next game. We got a couple of NBA playoff games tonight. The Bucks at the Heat with Miami up 2-1. It sounds like Giannis may be giving it a go, which is huge for Milwaukee. And then, Kings fans, Warrior fans, you got to be watching the Grizzlies and Lakers. That's your next opponent for whoever advances. Lakers up 2-1 right now.
Beyond that, just because Dylan Brooks is announced to be playing in game 4.
Yeah.
After everything that went down in game 3, this is next level drama with him.
Yeah.
As much as we're annoyed by Dylan Brooks, we also can't keep our eyes off this, can we?
Right. No, not at all. And, the Lakers built that nice lead, and then John Morant almost single-handedly brought them back. That was an amazing performance by him, but the Lakers up 2-1. Same situation. If they win that to go 3-1, huge. If not, it's 2-2, and Memphis has home court back.
Can Memphis come back on the Lakers 3-1? Especially if it's another big game like for LeBron where they kind of put Memphis in their place a little bit.
I feel like the Lakers are really hitting them with so much size. And when you're out Adams and without Brandon Clark, I think it is taking its toll. So I would feel like no, but they would say, look, we got 2 of 3 at home. So to do it, they'd have to win game 5 and game 7, and obviously game 6 back in LA. But we shall see those 2 series with Miami up 2-1, Lakers up 2-1. We will come back. Final segment, little crosstalk with Chris Watkins and Kyle Madsen, plus celebrity birthdays, brought to you by Crumble Cookies. And we'll recap our 3 in the key from last week. We'll do all that and so much more here on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports wants to congratulate Kings head coach Mike Brown for being the first coach to unanimously win the NBA Coach of the Year award.
100 first place votes, first time ever. Wow. A unanimous decision.
Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. I'm really appreciative of being in Sacramento. The fans, the city has been fantastic.
How will Coach Brown lead the Kings during the playoffs?
Tune in to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com to find out.
Hey, that's me, and I need to tell you about my friends at ACR Solar. Jason Ross here, and ACR Solar has been instrumental for us at our home because we needed a brand new roof, something I've never done, and now we'll never have to do again, thanks to ACR Solar. And I'm glad we were pointed out about ACR Solar, because when someone told me about them, I'm like, yeah, but we're not looking for solar. We're looking to do a brand new roof. And they said, yeah, with home services, they do other things like roofs, pool solar, home solar, plenty of other things. Check it out at acrsolar.com. We needed the new roof. We got the new roof, and it was amazing to watch the process. We trusted them, and our trust was validated in them because the work was great. And they stuck to timelines, the follow-through, the deliverables, all checked the boxes. And the end result, a brand new roof. It looks great. We've got peace of mind as homeowners to handle all the elements that Sacramento can give us. And we now know we're going to have a roof for a long, long time. Curb appeal, home value, all those things are on the positive side. So if you're in need of home services, solar, roofing, whatever it might be, check out ACR Solar. Go to acrsolar.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Since the 1950s, Warehouse Paint has been helping local homeowners and professionals bring color to life. Whether it's painting your home's exterior, repainting kitchen cabinets, or finding the perfect accent color, Warehouse Paint's expert team is here to help. You'll find a great selection of PPG and Benjamin Moore paints, along with local service you can trust. With 5 Sacramento area stores, Warehouse Paint is ready to help bring your next paint project to life. Visit warehousepaint.com for a store near you.
The folks at M&S Auto know that inflation is tough on everybody. If you need an excellent, gently used car or truck, M&S has hundreds of vehicles on the lot on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. M&S customers get great deals and they save thousands. Get a great deal now on super clean 4x4s, including Tacomas, Silverados, and Jeeps, and muscle cars, Challengers, Teslas, Mustangs, and even the occasional McLaren. M&S Auto, msautogroup.com.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
And Carmichael Dave down with a sickness. Unfortunately, not feeling well today. Hopefully, he's back with us tomorrow. We shall find out. Jason Ross, J. Mars, and look who's here in studio. Is that chair extremely high? What's going on?
Yes, it is. I was really struggling to get into this chair.
Is in studio.
Yeah, hello.
Kyle Madsen, Chris Watkins.
It's my shack.
Chris is at the kids' table.
Stop it.
You're at like the bar. What's going on over there?
I hang out at the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
How are you guys?
Great.
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Shut up, Kyle.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey.
Warriors won yesterday. Of course he's great.
Chris has this shirt, but he's not wearing it.
Yeah.
That's our guy, Jimmy. I have it on. You've got the hoodie. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
I went hoodie action with the Brick House hoodie.
That looks good.
Everything Brick House makes is great.
100% agree. 100% agree. But it would have been pretty great if you wore yours.
It would have been great,
Yeah.
especially since it wasn't coordinated.
It was
or
not
anything.
coordinated.
It would have been pretty funny to just walk in.
Oh, hey.
If Frankie almost wore his too?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that would have been.
Jay, did you almost wear yours?
Oh, no.
Almost. I missed it by that much.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I mean, your Sacramento Kings sweatshirt is pretty close.
Yeah, this is a trick house.
It's a knockoff.
Yep.
Yes.
Not as good.
Not as good.
quality.
Not as good. We're going to get to our celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies in a moment. So it's 2-2. You are like, how's everybody feeling? You are a fan of the Warriors, but this
I
has
don't
been
think the idea that Golden State has just like figured out this series to me is nuts.
Yeah, I can't. At this point, I can't figure out who's better. Honestly,
I think. Well, the Kings were the better team throughout the year, and the Warriors can't win on the road, and the Kings have 2 of the 3 games left at home.
Yeah,
like that's just a great spot.
Yeah,
I don't have a great grasp on who's better, but I think you have to feel great if you're the Kings, especially given how they played yesterday.
Okay.
Agreed.
Chris, you agree?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel all right. I feel like they're 2-2 means they're even, means it's anyone's series.
Yeah.
Next game's the most important one. The Kings, obviously, like Kyle said, they're sitting in a good position, have 2 of the next 3 at home. They've been, Warriors have been a really bad road team. There's no reason to think that this thing is over. I don't think either team has necessarily shown that, what to expect on any given night. All 4 of these games have felt like they have their own individual personality, and it's anyone's game. Game 5.
I said this earlier, and see what you guys think. Not that it matters because it could change, obviously, but whoever wins Game 5 will put the other team on the brink of elimination. More people would think that if the Warriors were down 3-2, they have the ability to come back and win 6 and 7. Then I think vice versa. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Now, whether that's may not even play out that way, may not be true. Maybe the Kings come back and win 6 and 7. But I think more people, based on the Warriors' history, based on going home for Game 6, could also win a Game 6.
Although I do think I think that the Kings have changed that some.
I think so too.
Like I think the thought process nationally on the Kings going into this series was, Golden State's going to win in 4 or 5, and that's just how it's going to be. But I think people now are seeing that that's not.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
I don't think so. I think people would definitely just all lean towards the Warriors. I think it's just the matter of experience. I think people are not afraid to pick this Kings team, but it's really tough to deny everything that the Warriors have been through, and they still have Steph, they still have Clay, they still have Draymond, they still have Steve Kerr. It's tough to avoid all of those ignore all of those factors, and then assume or imply that the Kings are going to win with just their lack of experience.
What would happen if we just said, all right, this is how the league is going to decide this. Take everyone off the floor, and it's just Fox and Curry. How great would that be? It's kind of that way now.
I'm in.
I mean, that's amazing what those 2 guys are doing.
De'Aaron's level up in play has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I've been blown away. Like, I knew he was good. Like, I follow the Kings. I watch the Kings. I knew he was good. But the level that he's taken and gotten to in this series has just been above anything I thought he was realistically going to get to in his first postseason series. He's a dog. He's got that dog in him.
He's that guy.
I just looked at a stat on Twitter before we hopped on here. De'Aaron's right now, and granted, it's only been 4 games. He's 3rd right now in most points per game of any playoff scorer behind Michael Jordan and Luka Doncic. And granted, that's a 4-game sample size. But for him to just step into the playoffs and be the guy that he's been, and like you said, like the narrative, you can feel ESPN talking about how now, I watched the broadcast yesterday after I came home, and Jalen Rose, the first thing he says after that broadcast is, De'Aaron Fox, Ja Morant, 2 best young guards in this league, and with De'Aaron playing the defense that he's been playing, maybe one of the best 2-way players in this league. He just wasn't being brought up in those conversations. Right, So even just to hear him being brought up in that light it's a huge step for him.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like I'm taking Anthony Edwards over Ja Morant right now.
I think that's super fair, actually.
I'm appreciating the vibes with Edwards much more.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. How much
goes in there, says they're not going home, and he went and actually did it.
And even the games they lost, he was awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Jay, we need to recap our old 3 in the key.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We weren't here for that. It's time for that.
That's always fun.
Let's do that. And Kyle, you're going to do this after the
fact. Hit the music?
Yeah, let's hit the music. It's festive. Yeah. Dunk it. So here we go. We asked these questions of Dave, of Whitey, of Chris, and myself, and you're going to get to play the benefit of playing after the fact. We'll see how you do because you've now seen this game already, something Chris and I usually see first before everyone else. But The first question.
They get a screener on the game. I don't know if you caught that.
Oh, nice, guys. Congrats.
Yeah. Should we tell them what happens in Game 5?
No.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Okay. All right. The first question we asked is who would have the largest lead for the Kings and the largest lead for the Warriors? So what would you say?
In Game 5?
No, Game 4. The game that happened. We predicted this, but now I want to see how you would do. What's your memory recall?
The Warriors had the biggest lead. They got it to 10 at the end of the third quarter.
Okay, what would be the Kings' largest lead? What's your prediction?
8?
Okay. The correct answer was 9 for the Kings and 10 for the Warriors. Dave said 4 and 10. Whitey said 7 and 17. Chris, great job. 11 and 11.
That's not bad.
That's really strong.
That's good stuff.
No, and I said 9 and 14. You and I think we're good.
Well,
Kyle's
we saw the game.
great.
I know.
It's like you saw the game.
Well, you know.
All right. How about this? We asked this question: who would get the last made basket in the game? Your answer would be
made basket.
Does he remember?
Oh, it's De'Aaron. It was the triple.
De'Aaron Fox is the correct answer. Dave said Curry. Whitey said Chimezie Metu, who has not played in the series, correct?
That guy, yeah.
Or did he play in Game 5?
Do you think the Warriors were going to be up 60?
Maybe.
Metu might have played
Chris,
Game 3.
you said Dozier.
Did you think the Warriors were going to be up 60?
I thought somebody was going to be up.
And I said a guy who played, but Kevin Huerter.
Oh,
nice work, guys.
No.
Kevin Huerter, wasn't he a team high, like plus 11?
Plus
14?
Good defense. Which was weird, but yes. And then the last one we said call your shot, so like a random thing. What would you have said? Like
I would have said that Steph Curry would have called a timeout when the Warriors didn't have any timeouts.
The worst prediction of all time. Who would ever
going to pull a Chris Webber?
You would have been right.
What?
Dave said the Kings bench would be plus 12 or more over the Warriors. I don't even know how to do that.
I definitely don't think that's the case.
Let's see. 28 plus
the Warriors,
39.
actually, that might have been.
Oh, he's right.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah.
Wow. 39 bench points for the Kings.
Kings over the Warriors didn't play like anybody off their bench.
Except for Draymond.
How about this one? After the series he had, Whitey Gleason said Keegan Murray 3 or more threes.
Wow.
He had 5.
Good call.
Wow.
I like that call.
I like that call. That's a
very good call. Chris, you said Murray would play 25 or more minutes. Also right. And I said,
nice, dude.
Career high.
Domantas Sabonis would have a triple-double.
Oof.
Yeah.
Close.
Was he?
Yeah, very
Ish,
close. He had, 17?
14, 7, and 8.
14, 7, and 8.
There we go.
Something light.
Okay. So
He
there you
had
go.
7 rebounds?
He did, but he had 0 until late in the first half. He was the lowest rebounder in the game for a while. I'm like, how is this possible?
Huh.
Well, let's see how
Who'da
you guys.
thunk?
Let's see how you guys now do on celebrity birthdays. Brought to you by Crumble Cookies.
There's
Happy
no jingle today.
There's no jingle. Do we have that other one?
No, we're just going to roll with this.
I love crumble cookies, by the way.
They're
So good.
insane, and they're good. They're insane.
Totally insane.
Yeah. A happy birthday to Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, go Casey.
Clarkson.
Jordan's
Since you've
mom.
been gone.
Where'd she go? Is that true?
Yeah.
Get out of town.
I did not know that.
Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday. How old is Kelly Clarkson today, guys?
43.
Okay.
When was she on American Idol?
Like
That
2001.
doesn't matter. I'm just going to throw a number out.
Does that help?
41. I'm going to go 41.
41, 43.
I'll say 45.
We have a correct answer right on the board. 41.
Come on. Come on.
If I had told you when she was
Beginner's
on American
luck.
Idol, would that have helped?
Well, somebody said 2001, and that's
what
sparked
did it for
my
you.
answer.
Yeah, just computed.
Not giving you any more hints, guy.
Happy birthday. She was probably a judge or someone helped out on American Idol, maybe. I don't know. Barbara Streisand.
Related to Aaron?
Aaron Streisand, yes.
Okay.
Barbara Streisand.
Babs.
Barbara Streisand, I feel like, is one of those people who's either way younger than I think she is or way older than I think she is. So I'm going to land on 72 and feel really good about it.
Okay.
Yes. I'll say 78.
Yeah, I'm going to lean old here. I'm going to go 83.
Lean old.
72, 78, 83. 81, Jay
Wow.
Myers.
Did you know Joy Behar is 80?
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
She
that one's
looks
a stunner.
great for 80.
No comment for Jason.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Said.
Club said.
Said
Probably another one.
Sneaky old.
Yeah.
67.
Wow.
I was going to say 70.
I'll
For
go,
Cedric?
you know
Okay.
what? 61.
59 for Cedric.
Oh,
Sorry,
come
Cedric.
on.
Sorry.
I'm trying to get Cedric out of here. Sorry.
Happy birthday to, Hall of Famer Chipper Jones.
Chip.
Larry? Isn't he Larry Jones?
Larry Jones.
Yeah,
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Larry Chipper Jones.
Yes. Rolls off the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Brian's screaming right now.
Let's see. Chipper Jones, Hall of Famer. Arguably the best switch hitter of all time.
Very arguably.
Wow, you almost were offended by that comment.
Mickey Mantle, excuse me. Oh, I had something stuck in my throat.
I'm a big Eddie Murray guy. Sorry.
Oh, see? We've already had 2 ahead of Lawrence.
No, I'm going. How old is Chipper Jones?
And if Aaron Judge,
47.
That's one-time lefty, he's better.
47.
45.
Yeah, big birthday for old Chip. He's 50.
51.
Wow.
It's been that long.
He's. Oh my God.
How about the smooth fielding Omar Vizquel?
He was 51 when he retired.
Which was last week.
The A's actually just signed him.
Yes.
Omar Vizquel, 54.
Surprised they had the budget for him.
54 is a good guess.
I'm going to say former Mariner Vizquel is 57.
Wow. I was going to go, I'll say 51.
56.
Wow.
Jeez, Jay is so good at this game.
Wow.
You guys want to finish with Carlos Beltran or Jerry Judy?
Beltran.
Okay.
Yeah, Judy, I feel like it's too easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how old is he?
46.
Oh, this is Beltran. Okay.
Yeah.
46?
Judy is not 46.
Judy's like 24 or 25.
Yeah.
Judy is 24.
Wow.
I was going to go ahead, Chris.
I'll say Beltran's, you said 46?
Yeah.
I'll say 48.
I was going to go 47. It's got to be one of those.
We have a correct answer. It is 46. Come on!
Yeah!
What's coming up, guys? What's coming up on the show?
Out of time.
Oh, I didn't do that.
I think it's time for a break. Oh, of all the people in the world telling us when to break. That's delicious. How many breaks have you run through like a marathoner? And we're late because you and Simone want to do whispering for 4 minutes. Turned into an